right, and we are live. Welcome, everyone.
Well, not all
Hello.
of us are alive.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
shots fired
No.
already!
When I say I was done talking shit, I lied.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was tragic, but
Okay, sad
I'm
face.
sure we'll figure something out. Welcome to the sealed pages of Verglas on our Rollers of Fate channel. I am Cisco Blanco, one of your DMs, alongside with my amazing co-DM,
The other way.
Mo.
Hello, everyone.
All right, and without further ado, let's please introduce our players, starting with Andy.
I've just lost a mascot.
And we will, so it's just to take the awkwardness off, we don't know what's going to happen with Bryn, aka Luke, so we will still introduce him as Bryn for the time being and see what happens. Please, Ross, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Ross. I'm playing Aki Flamakelsti, level 4 Divine Soul Sorcerer. Who doesn't seem to be able to make up his mind about a great deal of things recently. I'll throw it back to Andy if his cats are leaving him alone.
Yeah, I lost a mascot. That doesn't bode well. Hi, I'm Andy. I'm playing. Currently I'm playing Bruise, and he has not foreseen the tragedy that has taken place, and he's about to find out. Oh no! Speaking of tragedy, Luke.
Hi, I'm Luke. Was playing this guy. Wait, no, that's the ghost card. Oh boy.
Oh dear.
I randomly drew that out of a sketch. Definitely random. Definitely didn't pick it up while people were doing their intros. Yeah. So level 4, Oath of Glory Paladin. No clue what's gonna happen next. Currently TBD, which is a pseudonym for Tiberius Bingleback Davidson, my next character.
I really hope that's his name.
Honestly, I'm gonna be a bit real here. I put TBD in my Discord name for a week, expecting someone to make a joke.
I thought it just meant
No
to
one
be
did.
determined.
No one did. Well, I was
giving it
hoping
as much
someone was
credit.
going to ask. And speaking of someone, Lucky, you just asked.
Hi,
So go ahead.
I'm Lucky. I'm playing Grave Andre, a fighter rogue, very handsome, uncharismatic.
Appeals to both
May
sexes.
or may not have caused the accident that happened in the last stream.
Oh well. Easier to blame the DM, isn't it? Much easier.
But let's not forget, Cisco made me do it.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
let's look at the
not
real.
true.
Let's look at the real perpetrator here. Luke had no sense of self-preservation for his character. That was established
I'm
a little
sorry.
while ago.
I'm sorry. It's not my fault that I was hit with a crit that did over the maximum health of mine just before I was going to heal myself.
I mean, you can literally fly, and you didn't.
You know what they say?
Yeah.
If you are dead, you
That's
cannot
fair.
heal yourself. Something I learned the hard way as well. When you are the dead, cannot heal. But yeah, you did take a huge blow though, on your defense, I have to say. Anyway, I'm sorry for that, but the show must go on. Mo, please, I'll leave it to you to do some little intros.
All right. Those who have not watched our streams before and are new to the stream, please go check us out on our YouTube channel where you can find all our previous episodes for this game and also our Sunday game, which is Dining in Barovia, which is DM'd by Cisco. It's a very climactic event. It's coming to the end of a saga. It's all going to shits for all our characters, but don't worry, something will happen on that day. So please watch that, and you can find all those episodes at Rollers of Fate D&D. And this stream, once it's finished, you'll be able to find it immediately on our Twitch channel right here. Those who want to send us any fan art, please send it to rollersoffatednd@gmail.com. And finally, we have a Twitter channel, which is at FateDND, where you can find our up-to-date news and any other D&D related news on there. And I guess that's it. Let's see what happens. Cisco, back to you.
Yeah. All right. Just to say this, I mean, Candlekeep Mysteries has turned to be quite a horrific game. So, as we say on Sunday as well, just be aware. Some of these stories are really dark, and the content on them could be triggering some things for people. So, just watch it with caution.
I just
That's
want to
all.
also add, sorry, Cisco.
Mhm.
We didn't mention Matt and David. Sorry.
Oh, yes.
Yep,
Yeah.
they're
That's true.
unfortunately still
Sorry.
not here, but we hope to have them both back as soon as possible. So
Yeah.
please give them their love, and
Forgot.
we'll get back. Hopefully, we get them back. But yeah, back to you, Cisco. Sorry.
All right. Let's see which mysteries shall be revealed today.
All right. I'll set the music and the tone. Let's go.
All right.
Oh,
Sometimes.
I just realized. Sorry, I'm not on roll 20.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Oh dear. That's all right. Sometimes fate can turn a book with a happy ending into ashes, an unfinished tale into fallen feathers. Yet is known that the souls of the righteous will ascend to the seven heavens, and their story remains written in the heart of those left behind. Using the given scroll, Aki, Bruce, and Bryn spoke to Bookworm, the Great Reader, finding information about Androthator, an ancient red dragon interested in knowledge power that suddenly disappeared, tracing back to a city destroyed by an explosion somewhere in the Anorok Desert. The Great Reader plans on sending a message to invite Aki's caravan folk to visit Candlekeep. Gray spent some time socializing with the troublemaking Belinda, a janitor girl who ended up ghosting Gray as he arrived late for their appointment. Belinda joined a Loxodon bard and his band instead and caused an embarrassing scenario, leaving Grace angry and displeased. The morning after, once the party finalized their terms of their business arrangement with the dwarven patrons Jamie and McDougan, they gave the seekers a book that talks about Vermilion. Afterwards, the group set off on the trips towards Merin. During the night's watch on the woods, Aki told Gray a story, hoping for him to be more transparent with the group, but didn't really work as expected. Suddenly, a dome of magical darkness obscured the campfire as hooded, creepy creatures attacked. Despite being unable to see, the heroes and the Mackenzie Stone brothers used their hearing senses and fought bravely. The creatures explode and emote blinding light when killed, and were able to see through the darkness. Gray slashed with his empowered, poisoned whip. Aki's innate magic wounded the creatures greatly. Bruce raged with his Dragon Slayer sword, his hand, and slashed through flesh like butter. Bryn illuminated the path using his angel wings and smote the unholy creepers, until several of them focused their rapiers on him all at once. Unfortunately, Bryn passed away, yet the Seekers were victorious. And that's where we'll start our adventure tonight, as is early in the morning. You see the waning moon on the starry sky, and you find yourself in this overgrown, let's say unnaturally overgrown forest with a purple plants and unusual mushrooms and vegetation on it. And you are all there as brain, body, and soul are not together anymore. So I'll give it to you. What would you like to do?
Bryn's body is currently being held with Gray's arms, isn't it? While he's kneeling on the ground.
Yeah.
Gray.
Bryn, please wake up. Wake up, Bryn. Come on.
How far
Whoa.
can you go with that cape?
Not far enough.
What do you mean? He's fine. He's fine. Bryn, just get up, Bryn.
Come on, Bryn. I'm gonna slap him across the face really hard.
As you slap him across the face, you feel his cold, frozen skin. And as you are aware already, there is only a shell left.
I'm sorry, Bryn. I was just trying to save his life, guys. It was the heat of the moment. I threw a knife at one of those creatures and it exploded. And
Gray. First of all, shut up. Wasn't you killed him? They did. They attacked. Bruce is just struggling to keep it together here. It was all on them. We're all here.
You're
Excuse
not
me.
the only one who failed. We all failed.
1 second. Sorry, what you saying there, Lucky?
I was gonna say, what should we do with Bryn?
What is it? Hey. There's a... We're going to a temple, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's already why we're going. You think they can do what they did to with Gray there for him?
well, we can only hope, but... Could I roll something to see if I know what those creatures were?
Of course. Let's call it a nature check, please.
Nature. Still a bit exhausted, but still a bit tired, so disadvantage. Natural one. Like Bruce gets a headache.
You start focusing on the creatures, trying to bring your memories forth, and I don't know, you just too overwhelmed by what has happened, and nothing really comes to your mind in this right moment.
Excuse me 1 second, Gray. Aki, could you join me over here for a second? I'd like
Sure.
you to join us. I have a question for our benefactors.
Yeah.
Aki, would you please ask these fine gentlemen if they are aware of any enemies that they may have had, or people who do not want them to have that mine? Something that we could have known about beforehand.
Will you give me a hand, brother? It felt like that was painful.
Yeah, of course.
I can hear
yeah.
you. We don't know. We don't have any enemies. Whatever this is or whatever they were. Never seen them before in our lives. Have you, brother?
No, nothing like that before. I mean, we are a few days away from this place. I don't see any relation to this, but I do not remember this forest being so vibrant, shall I say? I don't know. That's the only thing, but do you, bro?
No, I've never seen it like this before. Very strange, I tell you. We are... I don't know what you're deciding to do. If you're going to take him to the temple, then so be it. Or is that what he would like? Is that something that he would want to come back? We didn't know him, so all the decisions down to you. We are very sorry. It's out of our
Yeah.
control.
That was horrible. He had the most polished armor I've ever seen. I have to say that, and his hair was quite nice as well.
You
He
see,
was a good guy.
Jamie nudge Dugan. Not now, brother. Stop it.
Oh.
Could I insight them specific on the whole? We have no enemies. Why would anyone do this part?
Go
Of
ahead.
course, yeah. Go ahead.
Someone please join me in this because I'm rolling a disadvantage again.
Yeah, no, I don't buy that at all. Yeah,
I will imagine kind of like Bruce looking towards
Another
everything.
natural
Oh
one!
my god,
Bruce gets
why?
the headache. He has
I
an
was-
aneurysm.
I was your nosebleed. I
This
was
is
in the
really
process of doing that.
emotional.
As
So okay, it's
you,
okay. I roll insight as well.
of course, yeah. Any.
Ooh,
Thank God.
Oh, wow. Okay. As
that's
you
me for the whole
focus,
session.
yeah, as you focus on their demeanor, Bruce, they seem quite hard to read, and you see them that they've had quite a lot of experience. You see scars on their faces, and it kind of makes you lose what you're looking for. But as you do, Aki, you see truthful. They are very simple. Once more, they are not the easiest to read because they're culture, but you see honesty on them. There is nothing that they seem to be hiding at this point that you figure out.
I believe you when you say you don't have enemies, but what do you mean? This forest is different. You didn't come through this forest on your way to Candlekeep. You came a different way.
No, we don't normally pass by this forest that often, but we have been here. Like, was it like how many years ago? Like 2 years ago? It was almost Ben with this weird weather around here. That's all.
What my
Wasn't
brother is
it?
trying to say is that this is definitely stranger than it should be. The coloration. It's normally green. No idea why it's purple. We've just noticed it, that's all.
Yeah, no, any other insights. It's just unusual.
Is there anything I could you'd allow me to roll to investigate something near me, nature wise, or on the ground or in the trees, to see look for clues as to what might be the change? Or
Yeah, you could perhaps inspect the plants. You could inspect the soil,
Could we
whatever
all try that, or
flowers.
just Aki?
While
Anyone who is interested can do it.
I was gonna say, while
Sure.
he's doing that, can I just inspect the bodies of the things that attacked us and try and figure out where the black darkness came from?
Okay, sure, of course. So you go ahead, guys. Make nature checks, whoever won, and you can make a investigation, please. Gray.
back on farm.
It's a weird forest.
Not 20.
God damn it! What?
Yeah, you both
good. We
you
need it.
both start looking at the leaves and stuff, and they just seem unusually overgrown. Like the flowers all are blooming. It's like if it was a spring, but you are aware that it's autumn, fall, and it shouldn't be this vibrant. And you do get that it's too blossomed for the season. Let's put it like that. Even though with your low roll. And as you start investigating these bodies, Gray, you discover. Okay, you discover that one of the bodies are completely destroyed into dust, but a few things have been left on the floor. You find there some weapons that they were wearing, for rapiers that were not destroyed. You also find a little pouch. This like seems to be somehow not destroyed neither, and inside the pouch you feel a few little things on it.
I'll start pulling them out.
All right. In there, you find 2 regular healing potions. Sorry, I gave it out. Let's say that you are not sure which ones they are, but yeah, they are red in coloration, and without having to spin your head too much, you figure out they are regular healing potions. Also, you find some little trinkets on it. I will need you to roll, actually, if each of you actually could roll out of the you. I know you're not. Bring is not here, but you can roll as well. Luke, just to keep for doing something. So each of you can roll 2d100, please.
Okay. Let me just give me a minute to get his character sheet up.
Yeah, no worries. And then as well, apart from all these little trinkets, you find some kind of black gem the size of, I will say, like a half, like a baby's arm, fist, like a little gem, like this size, black, completely cold to the touch. And as you look through it, you see that it's got some kind of purplish tint inside it, like something is inside there somehow.
What was the roll again?
2d100, please.
Right, okay, 1 second. It's just taking forever to load up. Oh, I've got it now.
Mhm.
That is a 76 and a 15.
Okay, so let's go by whoever tell me the number first. So which number was it again? Sorry. Luke,
15 and the 76.
76 and 15. Okay. You find a collection of baby teeth that seems to be in some wooden box. That's one of the things.
Oh,
They look very creepy, I have to say. Also, you find on a 15, you said, yeah? 13, yeah?
15.
15, yeah? And also, just make a note of this. I won't make it right now. You find a wooden jigsaw puzzle piece that has some kind of jack. It's just like an unusual puzzle thing in there. And it seems to be both of them emit some kind of faint magical energy. Aki, you find a large iron fingernail and also a wooden mouse figurine that squeaks as you hold it. As the moment you touch it, it squeaks.
Aki would normally be amused by this, but it's just puzzlement today.
And you, Bruce, you find a tiny electron whistle that as you blow it, no one can hear it. You don't hear anything, but you feel it like it's vibrating in your mouth, but no noise comes out of it. And it's made of electrum, the material. And also, you
is it
find,
valuable?
yeah, they seem to have some faint magical energy to it. And also, you find a tiny pair of sharp iron scissors.
Scissors.
Okay. Am I missing anyone? Yeah, Gray.
I had a
Gray.
76 on a 24.
Okay. So you find a little skull the size of a toy, like if it was like made out of a doll, but it's actually a creature skull, and it's covered with ink fingerprints. And also, you find okay, and this one here, and a glossy mushroom with a red bell-shaped cap that jingles as you hold it.
This is a really weird collection of things.
And that's all you find.
How long to the village? How quickly can we get Bryn to this temple?
We've only traveled for the day. We haven't even finished our rest. Perhaps another 2 days and we'll get there.
Something like that.
I don't.
can't-
I hate myself saying this right now.
We can't take Bryn with us.
Would the bag of holding? I don't know.
We can't just stuff
Preserve
Bryn in
him.
that bag of holding.
I don't like it, but I don't know. Would it have any kind of preservative property?
You want to stress. You want to put your friend's body in that bag of holding?
Bruce.
I don't know.
Bryn
Too
wouldn't want to be
small.
stuffed. He wouldn't want to be stuffed in a bag. Just,
I don't think he will be buried at the roadside either.
I mean, did you know about his family and his origins? Maybe, I mean, I don't know, but maybe he's got folk somewhere. Maybe he's got a wife and kids.
He never said
Bryn,
anything.
Bryn barely seemed to know about his origins. He never got to the point of telling us.
I'm
He didn't
gonna
even know he was an Azimar.
walk off to just go gather lots of wood and logs.
What,
Okay.
Gray? Hold on. I think a burial might be better. Takes a lot of fire to burn a body. More than what we think we can do right now. A lot of heat. We just be leaving a charred corpse behind.
This is. You don't think this is a good way to take care of it? Send him off?
I just thought it might be easy as all. I hope you find wood.
Yeah.
Worry about
It's-
Firebrute.
Hey, good point. Be on the receiving end of one of yours.
Hey, Aki, why don't you see if there's anything Bryn had? Maybe a letter or something from his family, or maybe he kept like a keepsake from them. Maybe we could take it back. I'm
Okay.
not gonna search his body.
Too far away for help.
Okay. I'll see if I can find something that lets us know who to notify.
You want some help, Aki?
I'll manage, Bruce.
Sure.
You help. You can carry more wood.
Hey, come on, Gray. Let's find something that burns.
Yeah.
You can take a bit of time. You don't need to roll anything. You start collecting some wood and tinder. And after half an hour, roughly, you have enough to build some kind of pyre, or however you want to do it.
Yeah, a pyre.
Aki will Aki will try and as respectfully as possible search Bryn for notes and marks on the inside of his armor. If lost, please return to anything. Anything that lets us know where he came from. Maker's marks, something that would identify as Smith. Anything.
Okay.
What did
Yeah, go ahead, Mo.
yeah, what did Luke? Why don't you tell them what, as he searches, what he finds through your possession?
So you find a few things. You find an unused healing potion, greater, the helm of languages, the silvered battle axe, smith tools, which say property of Barfire Smithy. And then there's just the splint armor. And that's kind of it, much noteworthy. I mean, there's some basic supplies, a couple of weapons, but I think just a pair of common clothes, mess kit, just standard adventuring stuff. I believe his original armor is in the bag of holding.
Not anymore. I don't think I
Oh.
ever had it. Actually, not anymore. I don't
Oh.
think I ever made a note of it. I thought you kept it because I've never had it here.
Oh, okay. I think
The
I think he was
chainmail?
in.
Chainmail. Yeah.
I have it marked down that it's in there. So it's okay. You find
Well-
you find chainmail armor as well.
Right.
Okay.
I don't remember selling it. Yeah.
Okay, this isn't going to be a delicate coin.
440 gold.
440. Okay.
You can, yeah. Aki can decide what to do with that when when we come back.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I guess there's kind of a little pile of things as Aki's trying to go through on his knees in front of Bryn.
You see Jamie and Duga both kind of help as well. They're not just standing on the side. They help stack the wood up to make this pyre as well. And they stand next to the body waiting when you guys are ready to place him on top.
Alright. Bruce comes back, he sees all the items. Oh, hold on a minute. You have a holy symbol on him.
Oh, probably should have mentioned that too. Actually, do you want me to just screenshot the inventory and just post it in Discord?
Yeah, that will be awesome if you don't mind. But yeah, you see a holy symbol of Tyr that you recognize, and you have seen him wearing it.
Right, well. I have a suggestion. Oh, sorry, Aki, you were
That's
saying.
it. Bar fire. It's the closest I can get to any identifying marks. Bar fire smithy in the whole world.
Anything
Shit,
know
how we're gonna.
of a bar fire?
It was his name. Maybe it belonged to, I don't know, his parents.
He did mention being handy in a smithy. I imagine it was family trade. But
Right.
does anybody have use of his armor or his holy symbol? I don't want to just lay him up there as he is. If he's fallen in combat, he should end that way too.
I prefer lighter stuff. Splint armor just seems too inconvenient for me.
Shame.
Bruce, how about you?
Heavy armor. Heavy armor's no good for me. I need to be able to move. I was gonna suggest though, let him keep his sword and his armor. I was gonna suggest though, if you would be alright, if I had the battle axe and the shield, I could make use of them. Not really my style, but lost a good one, and
Aye.
feel like things coming at us, and we'll need a bit more protection.
Yeah. There's money for the joint kitty, I suppose. I don't want to hold on to it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. How much was it again?
440.
440. Oh God,
Yeah.
sums. 741 gold.
It's maths.
Oh yeah, you know what they say. There's laughter even in tragedy.
You see that McDougan looks quite touched by the whole thing, and he will approach you, Gray, and say, I'm not sure how close you were to him, but death is always tragic. No one should blame themselves. These things happen, you know. Creatures are everywhere, evil are everywhere, and I see that you seem a bit more affected than the others. I'm unsure why, but you know.
Well, if I hadn't thrown that dagger at the creature, he might have lived. That's
Well,
just a part of combat, though.
if you were not here, he would have died much earlier. You have to always see the endless possibilities, and things happen. You know, you're still a beautiful lass. No one is gonna take that away. Well, I mean, lad. I'm sorry. Yeah, whatever. But just want to make sure you're okay.
McDougan, stop pestering the boy. Leave him alone.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just yeah. Oh. And he just puts their hand on your shoulder, Gray, and gives you a couple of taps, like to without
gonna
any. Mhm. Yeah.
just brush his arm off.
Come here, help me put the boy on the pyre. And
Oh, right.
you see them going on each side, and kind of yeah,
Wait. I know we agreed to let him keep his sword, Bruce, but at least just let me keep this, and I'm gonna take the long sword and
Can you
uh,
use it?
I I can.
I think you'd want that.
I would just
Still,
want something to remember him by.
still protecting us.
Yeah.
What about his holy symbol? Is dangling here. Does anyone want it?
I'll I'll take it, and I could return it to one of the worshippers of Tyr. I'll take a hold of it.
As you hold it, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh. Oh, that was almost a nat one.
You feel it that in the moment it touches you, for some unusual reason, it feels like it's burning hot, like a coil. And you manage not to burn yourself enough to act on it, but you feel it that it's burning you in your hand.
I'll just grip it really tight and put it in my backpack and try not to wince or show any pain.
As you hold it really tight, you take 1 point of radiant damage, and you put it inside your backpack. Make either, I will say probably deception, just to kind of keep your face still.
Against the passive perception of the group.
Yeah.
There's the one.
McDougan doesn't really, is not looking at you. Is anyone focused on Gray at this point?
I imagine we'd have been. Aku handed it over. Bruce would have been paying attention as well, or even heard him wince. Or I don't know. I think he would have seen it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, a six would you let out an involuntary squeak or something when you grasp it?
Yeah.
you just see his face kind of like does like a gesture like unusual. But he puts it on his back.
This ridiculous helmet they wore. Should I carry this? If it's a magic thing that lets us understand, we shouldn't
Yeah. I
burn that.
mean, I think it. Well, it wasn't exactly a perfect fit for him, and he just sort of melded around him. Maybe part of its enchantment.
I hope so. Otherwise, I have no chance.
Well, try it, I suppose. Fit around your snout.
Maybe after.
Yeah. All right.
Could-
Gray, what?
should
Actually,
we
you know
say
what?
final words?
All three. His body's on the pyre, yeah?
they're lifting it and they can put it on the pyre. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Put it down now. It's on the pyre, both of them.
Oh.
Before you even say anything, he goes, if you don't mind, we have customs for the fallen. Can we, my brother and I, just sing a song for the fallen?
It will be an honor for us and ensure his passage.
You see, as they, do you say yes to it?
Yeah, the bruise is nodding.
Please, yeah.
They you see Dugan pull out a drum, and as he does this kind of simple rhythmic one tone beat, and as he does that, you hear them both begin to sing a song. And he's got like a leather drum, which he's just kind of hitting. And as he does, you begin to hear them sing this. I don't know if you can hear it actually.
He's not. He's only playing the drums for now. Oh no.
Yeah,
Nope.
there's been. Oh, there we go. Can't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't know why actually.
I can hear it.
I can hear something that's very quiet.
Check my sound settings. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's just a quiet song because I had it on my master volume and it was quite quiet at full volume.
Does anyone have any last words?
That's
Something we used to say on the caravan, if nobody minds.
Sure.
Go for it.
Lo, there do I see my father. Lo, there do I see my mother, and my sisters and my brothers. Lo, there do I see the line of my people back to the beginning. Lo, they do call to me. They bid me take my place among them, in the great halls, where the brave may live forever. Bye, Bryn. With that, Aki will use his breath weapon to light the pyre.
As he does, Bruce will step forward as well. Bryn Barfire, you were a warrior. You were a protector. You were a friend. We bled together. That meant something, as I was taught. You went, and we're still here. By your sacrifice. And then Bruce will take out a coin, a silver coin. No, he takes out a gold coin, places it on top of his chest, and then we'll say something in Orcish. Does anyone else speak Orcish?
Mm-mm. Nope. Well, I'm speaking about McDougan. He doesn't.
And he steps back. Gray?
I'm gonna walk up to Bryn's body and look down again. Did anyone ever close his eyes? Or like his eyes still open or?
No, they will be closed by now.
Okay, just making sure.
I believe you did last session, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. If anything, I'll kneel down, look at Bryn, and just say, I'll make sure your symbol gets to your family or to Tyr, and I wish there was so much more you could have done with us. I promise I'll make sure to watch over the rest of the group until we finish the quest at least. Hopefully we'll meet again sometime in another life. And I'll walk away from Rin's body, and you guys ready to light it up?
Aki.
What is?
Your breath weapon just ignites the whole the pyre, and as it does, you just see it immediately cast catch flame, and there you lightens. It just illuminates this whole area. You see, even though the sun is just barely peeking from the skies to illuminate the sky above, it still makes this area glow. And slowly you see. Yeah, go ahead.
Mhm. Yeah, you go. Well, keep going. I'll
Yes.
just jump in a second.
And slowly, one by one, you see the Mackenzie and Stone brothers start heading to the horse, start packing, leaving Aki and Bruce there, watching him burn.
As you there as well with also Gray, make a perception check.
All of us.
Yeah, please.
I'll burn a eye patch use.
Sure.
I'll stick with the 17.
All right. So all of you can hear almost like a voice in the wind. Somehow the line between the veil is thin. Bryn, what will be the thing you will have want to tell your group before you departed?
I no prepared for this.
Yeah, that's the best part.
This is the actual. This is what Bryn's actually saying.
May the force be with you.
Yeah, it's the end now, but the moment has been prepared for. Keep on fighting.
Please tell me I wasn't the only one who heard that. Gray, Aki, I'm not going mad, am I?
More than before. Bruce.
You're fine, Bruce.
And you
Come on.
are... You're not even sure if that was real or was it the wind? What was it? But you felt so close to Bryn one last time, and the McDougan brothers start packing up, but then you know that it's still, you haven't finished your rest. They start opening back their sleeping bags, bedrolls, and they both lay to complete the rest. And you are left there with the flames.
You know, I've just realised something. He died. As he lived. Bit of an idiot. But in dragon fire. There's strength in that.
Yeah. I'll finish up the last watch. Why don't you guys go to sleep?
I'll just sit down here. Basically, Bruce intends to sort of like sit down in front of the flames and just gradually drift off to sleep.
Yeah, you see the flames, Gray, as you're taking your watch. They illuminate Bruce's face and Aki as they are resting. The forest is so quiet. The wind is howling slowly, and the leaves of the trees are moving almost as they were singing. And you are left there on your own. Is there anything you would like to do during your watch, Gray?
I'm gonna take out my own holy symbol and gonna throw it into the fire with Bryn's body.
You take the holy symbol of Bahamut out, and as you throw it into the fire itself turns red, green, blue, white, and black. Almost like in joy. And you feel warmth within you, like a mother holding you in their arms. Something you missed, something what you were looking for in that temple, and you feel it all around you. The mother of all dragons is with you.
So, just gonna lay there and watch the others, and watch until the fire goes out.
You keep watching as the fire slowly turns into just ashes and burn cinders. And as you looking, you drift off for a second, and then the light of the sun rising wakes you up in the morning. Another chilled, starting of autumn morning. But as you look around it, the forest is beautiful. The flowers are blooming. There is smells of different flowers and perfumes, and these trees look just amazing. And you see the brothers are already cooking. They've lit up another campfire and they're already getting breakfast ready for you. And that's the smells that wake you up along with the sun.
To save everyone more emotional trauma, I'm guessing Bruce wakes up, sees the pyre. There's no Bryn. One of you takes him to one side and just tells him what's happened.
Yeah. I imagine that would be Aki.
Sure. Bruce will be in shock. Like, he doesn't quite believe what you've said. Like, it's like, surely you're kidding. And he breaks down. Because he never got to say goodbye. And he'll wipe his eyes when he's done.
Come on, guys. Bryn wouldn't want us to hang out here and sulk all day. We gotta keep moving on.
There's a lot of
Should we-
things that Bryn wouldn't like us to do. This has not been a day he imagined he would. But he was never much one for reading either.
Would anyone tell Bruce about their findings about the forest, how strange it looks, and about these things?
Maybe once you got moving, probably not yet. I don't think that's the prevailing wind
Okay.
for everyone this morning. Unless that's something Bruce twigs on his own.
It's up to the DMs, because I've technically already rolled a nature roll and I don't want to push that too far.
You could do it again. I mean, it's a new day, new dawn, shall we say? Sorry for the copyrights of that, but yeah.
Okay. I can
I
roll
would say you're not
normally.
feeling good, but yeah.
Yeah, I can roll normally now.
Yeah.
Never mind, 11.
Yay.
Ooh, okay. As you keep looking around and focusing the things that you've read, things that you know, something comes to your mind. Feywild. And that word means a lot to you, I guess, and to anyone. People are aware of the Feywild means, and it just feels like this forest is too beautiful. It's just too unnaturally Fey, and that's what you gather from that in the morning. Meantime, Gray, I need you to make a charisma saving throw, please.
Oh no.
You in the wrong place.
As
Ah.
For a second, you feel more acute to your dark side, shall I say. And you have all these unusual thoughts of murder and hate, but they go away quickly. It's just like something that lingers in your mind, but they just disappeared.
I'm gonna get like the shivers shaken off a little bit. Come on, guys, let's pack up. Let's go. I'm gonna start grabbing my stuff and.
All right. Come on, then, McDougan. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Oh well, I'm sorry to say this, but look, we have an extra horse now, and all is for provisions. And they start mounting their ponies once you finish your breakfast and enjoy the little meat that they cooked and some little morning stew and some bread, and you start heading your way.
Before we start moving, Aki will, in light of what's just happened last night and his giving the prayer he hasn't in a long time, becomes quite aware he's been neglecting something. So before going off, he'll just not kneeling anymore, just kind of turn off to the side himself and mutter his little open road prayer to himself. Make sure that that's something he starts doing again. Is it in need of some help?
As you make that prayer, make a religion check.
Famously good at these, of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
For a second, you feel like kind of like from the back of your neck, there is like a tingle for a second, but it just feels unusual, and you just scratch it, and that was all.
That down to probably should have done this more then, if it's this unusual.
Bruce will put a hand on your shoulder as you finish. Well, I'm sure you'll come back to you, old friend. There's one thing I need to do as we're leaving. You can keep moving on. I won't be long. You might want to cover your ears, though. He walks away from everyone just a little bit. He pulls out his sword, raises it into the air, and he starts to sort of almost like a roaring chant, all in Orcish, stamping his feet, occasionally thumping his chest, brandishing his weapon. If you weren't looking at him, you'd think it was sort of like an orc on the warpath.
Oh wow!
If anyone wants to sort of see what he seems to be doing, they could insight it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be interesting.
I will say McDougan will be quite interested just for his own culture research.
This isn't something that's happened in front of Aki before, is it?
No, you've never seen him do this. So you could probably history or insight to figure out what he's doing.
You whether that's enough.
I think 10 or above. This seems to be some kind of oath he's swearing, Orcish, and he's speaking Orcish, so probably Orcish in nature. Below a 10, you're like, fucking hell. If you weren't seeing it's Bruce doing, you'd assume there was some kind of orc on the warpath.
Yeah, McDougan will look at Jamie with this face. He roll a 2, just for your knowledge. So he will be like, "What's he doing, brother?"
Oh, fuck, I know. Let's just keep going. I'm sure he's lost his nuts.
He's done. It doesn't take long. It's more like 10-15 seconds. When he finishes, he sheaths his blade again. Now, whatever creature sent those after us, it won't forget us in a hurry, and I won't forget it.
All right. Yeah, once you complete your chanting and little tribal ritual, leading with the ponies. And on the way, you start following back on the road. Day after day pass, dawn, twilight, night. You take watches. Nothing really. The closest you get to Marin, the less vegetation. It gets a little bit colder, and you feel like you're going up slightly to the mountains. And you travel a second day without any incidents as well. Is any of you would like to do anything while this is happening?
I think maybe Aki's walking at the back and is trying to get something to work with his hands, and all that's happening is he's just kind of it's crap electrical sparking, kind of clearly not what he's actually trying to achieve, but he's working. There's occasionally a bit of swearing, or what sounds like it's probably swearing.
Bruce would like to, well, obviously keep an eye out for things that you could use to sort of craft into a lyre. So wood or things that could be turned into a sort of string. I'd imagine with his wanderer feature, like because he can find rations, he could probably find small animals and potentially sort of like skin and gut them, use sort of like animal guts to be turned into sort of twine for a lyre. This is going to be his thing just now.
Yeah, I will say that on this time that you're traveling, whatever you want to find, you will have found. So if you want to let us know how the lyre will look, I will be very pleased with that.
It would be a very plain, functional sort of thing because he's had to make it himself, and it might not even. Well, yeah, it looks very plain. Like he's been taught to play it. He's proficient in survival, as well as these things. So
yeah, you use your knowledge of the forest and the wild.
Okay, Brucey boy has a lyre. So it's like a sort of like a little hand harp almost that you can sort of play quite handily. Hold on, I'm just adding some things to the bag of holding.
Yeah, no worries. If you want to play for a little, you can go ahead and make a performance check whenever you're ready to see how that lyre sounds as well.
Of course.
And in the meantime, at dawn, Gray, you feel again something unusual. Make another charisma saving throw.
15 again.
Okay. Same feeling. For a second, the first thing as you wake up, you look at your friends and you just feel so angry, so unloved, unwanted, and this rage kind of like really traumatizes you for a little bit, and then you shake it off and you wonder again, what was that about again? And then you start hearing that Bruce next to you is holding his lute, and he looks really good.
A lyre, not a lute.
Lyre,
it's
sorry,
like it's like a
not a lute,
small
yeah,
harp rather than a guitar-like thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah, sorry.
let's see.
It's just me.
Of course, I know. Yeah, I know. There's obviously language involved here.
Yeah,
You'll
it's
have a
my
go at
memory.
playing it. You'll have a go at playing it.
Go ahead.
15, pretty solid. So he's out of practice, considering he's not had one for a long while.
15 gang.
Sounds beautiful.
Has anyone played The Witcher 3? You know the bit where Calanetta, Priscilla, plays. It's a lute, but I imagine it's a similar tune to that. Is what he's attempting to play, just not as good as it turned out in the game, obviously.
Yeah,
because that was an excellent song in that game. And he's not singing. He can't sing.
It blends with the sounds of the forest and the horses and the animals, and you continue through your travels, feeling like an empty space has left on that horse as you sometimes look at all the provisions on Brin's horse. And eventually, you start to see a town far away.
My God.
And at this point as well, I forgot to ask, who had the book that the brothers gave?
I
believe
think I
you
have
did,
it in
Bruce.
I think I have it in the bag of holding.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
Yep, a deep and creeping darkness.
Yeah, I mean, just to check, I'll make a note of that.
If I tell you what, I think I mean, Bruce struggles to read. Could he have a go at flicking through it while on this long journey in between sort of crafting his lyre and playing it and getting back into practice again?
Of
So
course,
that
yeah.
I'll send you a little wisdom. It was a saving throw, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get my horse close to what. I always mix up the two dwarves. Which one's the one that doesn't have a crush on me?
Jamie.
Jamie. Yeah, that's Mo's dwarf.
Okay, and then McDougal is yours. Okay,
McDougal is my one, yeah.
I'll ride up to McDougal then. McDougal, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When we get to this town towards the mine, is there? You guys don't happen to have something useful like mithril or anything like that, would you, to make armor?
Ooh, not me. I mean, I have never really mind anything like that. Will you know, Jamie? He's talking about mithril. That's very powerful stuff. Very pricey as well and rare.
I think you'll understand that if you go to any dwarf and you ask for mithril, if you ain't a dwarf, he ain't gonna give it to you. So I tell you what. We're not blacksmiths. We're miners. If we find anything to do with mithril in the mine, I'll let you know. But if you're really looking for mithril anyway, you'll need to find some dwarven blacksmith. Maybe one of those fancy ones. What are they called, brother? The golden hammer? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They're
the
around.
one. Yeah,
They're around here and there. They travel in caravans. They may have some from time to time, but yet again, if you're not a dwarf, they ain't going to sell it to you, or they'll give you a hard bargain.
That's what I was afraid of.
Can I roll perception to see if I hear this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Because
not
I'm
being.
quite-
I'm
I'm
being
quite-
very
If it's not
blunt
being
about
quiet,
it.
I think you might be able to hear it.
No,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think I'm quite a ways back, trying to make it less obvious that I'm working on something. So
Okay, so make a
Yeah, go
I,
ahead.
I don't want to maybe presumptuous. Perception.
I'm just trying to get
Okay.
armor.
Yeah, you hear it.
Okay. That's all for now. That will come up later, I hope.
Oh, look, we're almost here now. Welcome. This is Merin.
Yeah, they are very close. You shouldn't be reading a book, Mr. Lockwood.
One moment, I might be onto a breakthrough here.
He's really good at writing.
It's
horses,
all
trust me. He's-
fantasy, and as you start focusing, as you've been reading the book for a little bit, normally letters move around as you read it, but today you seem to be on focus.
Yeah, he's using his hand to sort of like highlight each sentence. Like, oh, by Jove.
And the book tells the tale about a mountain village. Those residents went missing over a course of several months. The book is presented as some kind of vignettes, allegedly collected from those who were there. Survivals, traveling merchants, in second-hand accounts, residents by nearby settlements. And it's quite hard to figure out. The language itself is quite extravagant and dramatic, but pretty much speaks about settlers discovering a platinum vein in the mountainside and did a booming business in both raw and refined metal for around a decade. Due to the rough terrain and the harshness of the climate, the village never grew large, and traveling merchants came in and out of it just for a temporal, sold, trading, wares, and they left again. The nearest civilization settlement was a few days ago, and you gather that this will probably be Merin. And he also talks about some inhabitants of Vermilion one called the Mayor Lay Dubezin, who was a dwarven smith, also named Toman, and his wife called Blenis. 70 years ago, an explosion rocked the platinum mine, collapsing the tunnels and burying workers under a ton of rubble. 60 miners were underground that day, and over 30 of them died on the collapse. The instability of the tunnels made the rescue dangerous, and miners who survived the collapse were trapped for days or even weeks before they were rescued or perished in the deep, alone and terrified. Only 16 came out, and 11 were never found. The village was plagued by horror, and after a few days, midnight, and nights of people reporting unusual things, disappearings, fear, and people started to say that Vermilion was cursed. Merchants and other travelers stopped to visit the village, and the story kind of died off with it. And lots of little notes, you see musical songs, there is like songs written on it, and mainly platinum and ore in the mine, and there is even a song talking about Vermilion and a whole music to it that you could replicate. And based on all that, you gather that this book is probably been written by some kind of bard.
Okay, that was an awful lot of information.
That was a lot of information. I just tried to skim through it.
I don't. Okay, so I believe the important parts are the mine collapsed about 70 years ago. It killed a lot of the workers. Only nearly 100 of them. Only about 11 escaped. Ever since then, apparently, it was seen as cursed. People in Vermilion went missing. Man of creatures, perhaps, were roaming around and. Oh, by Jove. Gentlemen, I believe we have another cursed village. Wonderful. A second one in less than half a year. Jolly good. Why us? Why? Oh, right, we're being paid.
You have got experience then. Well, then this should be an easy job for you.
We've lost one of our number, so I...
This is an appalling niche to live in.
I
Clearer
concur.
of cursed villages.
What was the percent we agreed on? You guys agreed to give us 5% for helping you guys out, right?
Oh, you're still at it, aren't you? It's 0.5%.
Unbelievable, this guy.
But Jamie, McDougal promised me the other night. He said 5%.
What? Is
I
that
did
true,
not
brother?
promise any.
Actually,
You,
yes, I do believe it's an interesting point you bring up, Gray. Was it to do with perhaps in the event of some sort of hazard pay, if one of our number
Yeah.
were to be lost?
McDougal promised us a hazard pay.
I did not promise anything. I don't know. I mean, things happen. I tried to save you. What about the healing pavement? I saved your life. You should be kissing me every morning when you wake up.
Okay, well, here's the healing potion back if you want it so bad. Now,
No.
McDougal,
Keep it for yourself, just so you don't blame me for more deaths.
McDougan, make a persuasion check. And then Gray, make a deception check with advantage
Okay.
because you've had a Brucey boy help you there.
Ooh,
Thank
Don't
you.
fuck
thank you,
this.
Bruce.
Don't. You're very welcome. Don't fuck this up. Don't be double that one.
okay.
Deception at advantage.
I got a 16 plus.
Damn!
Plus
Come on,
0
one more.
actually. So 16.
What happened to your advantage?
He's
I
got one
know,
more.
I
He's
know.
got
I
one
still
more.
have one more. I have one.
Don't fuck this
Yeah, you
up.
have
Don't fuck this up.
advantage.
Don't fuck this up.
I want to be a millionaire.
Oh, okay. Yes.
What's wrong with you, brother? Why are you promising them something?
I
Without
don't know.
my- without-
That's not true.
Discussing it with me? How could you do this to me, brother?
You're blood of my blood. I will never do that. I mean, you know, I do like the girl, but I mean, yeah, complicated. But I will
You're
do like
mine.
this is business.
Your mind is confused. You have this lustful thought for that gentleman. He is a man. He's not a woman. Get that through your thick head.
I know. It's just so. I don't know.
Now, gentlemen,
Complicated.
we are reasonable men, and I understand there's been a clear miscommunication with you both, and of course, 5% is an incredibly generous amount. Aki, Gray, we're reasonable men. Yes, I'm sure we would be fine with 2.5.
3.
3.
2.5. You've already said it. I'll take
2.5. But you have to help us look
for the sake
armor.
of maths, 2.5. Absolutely.
I just nudged Gray. Gray, let's not push this now.
Fine. Thank
What
you
did
for
You
helping
see,
me.
What did Aki say?
McDougan really embarrassing.
So for the sake of math, 2.5% would be fine. Has no intention of doing the math, so it really doesn't matter.
You have a deal. No, and he looks towards McDougan. Don't you dare make any other deals with them. Do you understand?
Oh, of course. This is all not true. They are lying. It's fine. We are gonna be rich by in a couple of months, so it's fine. A little bit more is alright.
You're right, brother. Alright, we're here now. And you see you're turning up to the town itself. I don't know, I'll leave it to Cisco to describe the town.
Yeah. So just a quick second. I'm sorry. All right. As you nestled on the foot of the mountain range, there is a town of its last bastion of civilization before the I cannot say it. Inhospitable climate, yes, okay, of the peaks, not large enough to be called a city, and you see that is nevertheless bustling with shops, taverns, and other establishments abound. Is open. You see an open air market in one corner. You see the small town is divided in different streets. You see different establishments there. Apart from the market, you see an inn called the Board Whistle. You also see the central market that is clearly signed. There is people of all different races, drapes with kind of like cooling, slightly more warmer clothing here. You see some different skins and furs on people. You see Goliaths, dwarves, elves, dragonborn, and all sorts of different races just interacting with each other. You also see a shop that brings your attention as well, that is kind of unusual. It's called the Kind Focus, and it seems to be some kind of fate reading shop. Looking outside, it looks quite dark inside. You cannot really see much from the outer part of it. And very far away, you see some kind of temple as well. And you arrive and quickly blend in with all these different merchants and people on the streets. Very lively, kids playing around, and people getting to their daily duties. But you don't see that many houses. You gather that this is a in and out kind of place.
Any unfamiliar or local smells, food-wise?
Yeah, you smell like different smoked meats that are quite rare, like different birds and things like that from higher mountain climates. You see also some different goat milk that it seems to be quite popular around, and people are making desserts on the market, like custards and different things that has quite a strong smell that you are not really that used to as well. And there is a flower stand as well with this beautiful elf who is selling flowers on the market.
Is the elf he or
Single?
she?
Say it again, sorry.
Is the elf he or she? They?
The elf seems to be neither she or she, more like a they kind of guy. He's quite hard to distinguish whether he's a man or a woman. He's got a pale skin, shoulder-length hair with a red streaks with white, and cloudy blue eyes. And friendly, he just looks at you as you... Hello, how are you, my dear morning customer?
We've seen better days.
Oh, tell me more. Gossip nourished me like a spring on a rainy day.
Well, one of my only friends just... You know what? Don't worry about it.
Oh no, I hate bad news. Not bad news, my friend. People are like flowers. Some grow best when left alone. But you look like a kind of blue rose kind of guy. And he just pulls like this blue rose close to you. Don't you have a nice, beautiful lady to give this to? Perhaps something special.
No, not really. Not anyone in mind that I can think of, but that's a nice
Bruce
trick. How'd
straightens
you
up
do
and
that?
leaves as soon as he hears that. It's like,
Bruce,
good.
wait
He
for
walks
me.
away. He goes, good, walks away. he was kind of looming over you when you hear this conversation. Ah, okay, now I'm off.
I thanks and everything, but
Oh, there,
I think
Chip.
it's-
You look like you're quite wealthy. You're well attired. Come on. If not, have some tulips as well. They're mountain tulips. Look how red they are. And he just kind of like bends a bit too much, considering he didn't need to bend that much to get to the bucket. And he kind of like pulls this beautiful bunch of tulips. What about these ones? Is that more your type?
I'm gonna start backing up, keeping my hands on my coin purse, and
You see a little girl actually as you do that. You see a little girl kind of tug on his apron that he's wearing at the moment, and says, "Mr. Vaughn, can I have this little daisy, please? I want to make a little
Ooh,
daisy
you're
chain."
so beautiful, of course. Take as many daisies as you want, my dear. Yes, go ahead.
You see the little girl just pick up a few, and then just run off to her mother, where the mother
I'll put
looks
it in your
toward.
account if you
She
want.
Kinda
Hi,
nods.
Miss Lollyrobe.
Hello, Mr. Vaughn. Good day.
Good day to you too, my dear. Oh, so many new people around. Oh, what is Aki doing actually?
He followed the smells. As soon as he detected them, he just peeled off the group and just wandered off, glazed eyes towards whatever smells he could get.
Yeah, and
I'll flick a silver coin to the guy.
Oh.
Consider the girl's flowers paid.
oh, you're so sweet. That's nice of you.
I will show you what he looks like.
Hmm.
Really? This is the attractive elf?
I don't. see
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
he is attractive.
Uh-huh.
it. Wait.
For
where
his
are you
age.
seeing this? I don't see
Cisco, we
this.
have words. We have words, Cisco. Listen, I know beauty's in the eyes of the beholder, but
That's what it
Natural.
says. I'm sorry.
the actual beholder.
The coast, don't tell me.
I mean, I won't say no.
I don't see the photo.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No.
It's probably for the best.
You know? Let me.
I might just dimension door out of here. Apparently.
Yeah, put it up again. I think.
Yeah. Are you putting it in the general chat?
No,
Oh,
it's
no,
on.
oh, it rolled 20.
It's on roll
actually.
20.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. Oh, sir, you have a good day.
Oh, thank you, my dear. You do too. And don't forget, if you have any gossip to nourish me, please go ahead and tell me. I'm here all day, left alone, uncultivated.
Maybe another time. It's been a pleasure. My name was Bruce, by the way. Have a good one.
Oh, have
You
a good one.
motherfucker.
Take care, Bruce.
Bruce sneezes.
Shouts. And I love to talk. Don't forget that.
I understand, and I'm just gonna walk off to that fortune shop you were talking about. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, Andy.
Okay.
No, you're not. You're not even slightly sorry.
In the meantime, Aki, you see different merchants that are cooking. Not merchant, like more like stalls, vendors that are cooking. They have these kind of unusual skewers that look quite nice. They have like little pieces of mixed meats with vegetables, and they're grilling them.
You look
and they
hungry.
Offer.
We've got food. You want them? How many do you want?
Yes. How many stalls are we talking about? 3, 5.
Let's say like 4 or 5, yeah. So there is different like sections.
Starting on the left and working our way along the row, just
Okay.
getting one of everything, but slightly overpaying and trying to get a conversation going about the mines to see what the local stories actually are.
All right, make a charisma check at advantage. You could get each of these skewer is sold at 2 copper pieces each. That is pretty cheap as well, and you can get as many as you wish. If you are buying, do the charisma check at advantage, like I said. Okay, amazing. Yeah.
It's just faster than messing around with other settings and all.
Yeah.
No one.
And you,
Shall I say? Shall I roleplay out?
yeah, you go, Mo.
Well, the mines, no one really goes there anymore. Here, and he gives you a score. Have that one. Well, I think I only know 2 people that are actually from there, I think. One is Lucas. Yeah, he's a tavern over. And he points towards that tavern. And I think that flower man, Astra. From what I've heard, he's from there as well. Perhaps you can speak to those 2. They will have probably more information. But
Oh, what about that loony, the Mr. Mas? He was from Vermilion as well, wasn't it?
oh, that
The
fake,
one that runs
that
the
fake
fake
shop.
shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he doesn't talk that much, but I think he told me once he was from there as well.
Mass, yeah.
You should tell people their fortunes if he doesn't talk very much.
I don't think he does. I haven't really gone to him. But he's there.
Yeah, that,
if you want to go.
the girl. Yeah, there is the girl. I think she's the talkative one, the horned, beautiful girl.
Fiona, that's her
Oh
name.
yeah, Fiona. That's it. That's her name. Yeah, Fiona.
Yeah, she comes here, takes a bite of you. She likes her meat. Yeah.
She's of Devilish heritage. You know.
The tiefling. Just say it. She's a
Oh
tiefling.
yeah, that. Okay, Tiflin. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very beautiful.
But we get all
Exotic.
kinds of people here. Yeah. And he gives you another skewer. This one's done. You just keep eating. Yeah. Apart from that, town's a ghost town. No one really goes there. That's all I know. We kind of come in and out of the town anyway, so
Yeah,
best to ask the
rumor has
locals.
it. Rumor has it is cursed, isn't it?
I don't know.
That's what I heard.
Never been there.
So,
Don't really care.
yeah,
Oh.
me neither. Look, try this little skewer. This one is with little quail eggs. It's really delicious.
Oh yeah. We'll take anything handy to him at this point. Yeah, I'll let you know if it is. I'll let you know if it is actually cursed when we get back.
Oh,
Oh,
you go.
you're going there.
The wooden skewer as well as eating the meat. The whole thing.
No, it's just it's one of those very undainted. I'm assuming he's got kind of teeth that are slightly further forward than ones about. So he's clamp and pull.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going. Call it curiosity.
Well,
Can't walk past something, a town like that when people say it's cursed this often and not go and see.
let us, if you don't mind, let us know what you find there. We're quite interested, actually.
Oh yeah, we're back for the food anyway on the way out of town.
It's
I
just
appreciate that.
rumors. It's not cursed. This woman says from another stall. She's selling like a grilled fruits skewers.
Shut up, Betty. He's talking to us. Go away.
But he seems like a good customer. Come here, sweetie.
Don't listen to her. We make the best sewers. No here.
I'll drop two gold on for them and go and wander off and talk to the other one. And you don't have to keep going with Aki's interactions, but if there's anything else to be gleaned, by all means.
No, and as you kind of walk around eating the delicacy of this place from different areas they come through, you also find quite a lot of fish skewers, and you realize because this place is kind of still close to the coastline where you guys are from, you do get a lot
There
of
is plenty
fishing
of
fish.
nice rivers around as well. There is a lot of water, bodies of water around as well.
But as you continue to eat, we'll jump to Bruce and Gray, I guess. Both of you, what are you up to?
Well, because I'd like to get Luke involved in the game, I'm assuming we might find him here. Where would be the most expedient place to find him? Would it be the tavern or the Temple of Saloon?
Who are you talking about? Luke?
A hypothetical Luke, yes.
Could be anywhere.
Don't know.
May I roll
Okay.
perception? Find our new player, our new party member.
You might never find him.
Englishman.
Where's the I win button?
You don't know who you're looking for. How you're gonna do a perception check?
Exactly.
That's funny. You found the kid that got flowers.
Andy, I told you, I'm just here to watch the episode. I can't be bothered watching it tomorrow. I've got plans.
Obviously, he's Astra. He's the one giving flowers.
Of course, you know what? That's really stupid of me. You're absolutely right. I will go to the. I would like to go to the Temple of Saloon, please.
Okay. Whoa.
I will assume you will want to do that together, but it's up to you though.
Was
Okay,
was this not a ways beyond where we are? Is that not what you said?
Yeah, because the temple is the furthest on the kind of like towards the end of the town. But up to you.
Oh right, okay, never mind. Then Bruce will go to the inn to sort of like find a room and get everything sort of booked up for us all because we're probably coming back here at some point. So he'll go there with
Okay.
presumably the dwarves.
So let's do that, and then we'll move on to the because I know Gray went towards the Fate shop and kind of move on from there. So,
Aki's heading in that direction after hearing about the very attractive tiefling as well.
okie dokie.
Ah.
Alright.
Yeah, I'd like to join them after I've done the tavern thing because this could be interesting.
Okay. I
So
guess-
maybe if it's okay with you, we will do the tavern after if it's cool, and
Yeah.
then you will all reunite and get the rooms, and then we'll do the fate show first if you want. Up
Yeah,
to
of
you.
course. So I'm just like Bruce is on to be at the tavern, and they all say, "Oh, wait, no, Bruce, come see this." Like, oh, very well then.
All right. As you enter into the Fate shop, let me describe what you see. One moment. I have.
I got it on Cisco's intro. Is in there if you want.
Oh, it's in Cisco's intro. Let's look at
Yep.
Cisco's intro.
Oh, it's got a name.
Okay, yeah, I've got it here.
Is that the name of the fortune teller shop? Cisco's intro.
No.
That would be a fortune teller shop, by the way.
That's my
What's a
little
coincidence?
secret.
You see, as you come toward it, it's a very small building, and on top it says the Kind Focus. That's the name of this building. And as you kind of push past the curtain, the first thing you see is this kind of slow smoke that kind of fills the whole area. Let me also change the atmosphere of the music. It's too jolly for this place. I don't know. What's a? I think I'll just put maybe this one. All right. And as you enter into this place, it's very noir and ominous view. So like so much of the world, pretty much. It's very little lighting, and in somewhat small building with small level of smoke that seems to come from nowhere, covering the entire floor. strange ornaments and bookshelves kind of decorate this area. It's like a small little lobby area. And you see this kind of chain curtain in front of you. As you enter, there is this tiefling woman that appears past the chain and steps out and greets you. Hello, I am Fiona. Do you wish to have your fate decided?
I don't really believe in fate, but is Aki with me as well, or did anyone else?
Yeah, 3 of you there.
I wouldn't. I've never really done this before. I know our good friend Dorothy has been experimenting with such things. Sure, I wouldn't mind unless anyone else would prefer to go first.
Well, you have not met Maz. He is the greatest reader that I have ever met, and he will definitely read your fortune and reveal your fate. Please, come inside. And she pushes back the metal curtains. Sit down. He's waiting for you. Introduce yourself, and he will commence the reading.
Okay.
Is this a private affair, or maybe go with it?
All 3 of you may enter. You are all intertwined in this.
Excuse me? What?
Please.
Intertwined?
Enter.
You know what?
Joining us afterwards.
Do you want to go in one at a time?
If anyone should join me, I don't mind. But it's up to you. And Bruce will step forward.
You wish to
No,
go
I'll
first?
come with you, Bruce.
I'll stay back.
Very well. Why don't you sit here while these 2 go read their fortune first?
As Aki passes her, you just go, "You are as lovely as they said you were."
She blushes slightly and
I'm gonna
gives you
whisper
this.
to Aki.
Go on, what do you say?
Sorry, I was gonna whisper to Aki. Dibs.
If this is a
Make
charm off.
make a stealth check, actually, as you whisper that. Just for fun.
Well,
And she looks at you. She gives you. She raises one of her eyebrows. She looks you up and down. And she just leans against the kind of wall, folding her arms, not saying a word to you, Gray. But you two, as you enter into the room, you see on the side of the rooms there is a very small round table made from what seems to be, could fit up to 3 people at most, with a very grand throne behind it. Small candles placed in specific areas to keep the very dark hue into the room. And on the other side is a fine desk, and in front of that seems to be some sort of black door, potentially leading to some back room. There are cushions and sofas aligned, and where the throne is that you see, you do see a gentleman there, sitting there with a kind of grayish hat which has a point. Looks like a coat which has grey and purple colors that blend, and you don't really see his face behind this curtain. He just gestures towards the chairs for both of you.
Very well. And sits down and places his hands on the table like this, kind of. Good day.
Maz?
Yes. Good day to you all. I've been expecting you.
Huh. I
hear
understand,
you.
my friend.
I hear you were in Vermilion.
But enough about that. Enough about. Here's to you first. So, I don't know how aware you are of this, but I can tell the future, and this morning I drew 6 cards, and I believe these refer to you two. There should be a third. Where is he?
He's waiting through the room. Aki, you know this gentleman.
No.
Me and Aki go way back.
He just turns to Aki. Do you?
Anyway.
In Draconic, he'll say, "No, I'm bullshitting you," expecting you to realise you know Draconic.
Have I missed something?
So, Aki's more interested now. Sit down at the table.
He's assuming that you've understood what he said.
Bruce
Oh.
is just sitting there like, eh?
As you sit down on the table, there's 6 cards, just face down on the table, and he flips 4 of them up. One is the card of this card here. I don't know how well that can be seen. And it's the card of the Berserker, and as well as the card of the Beast, placed in front of you, Andy.
Oh.
Next card, placed in front of Aki, is the card of the Elementalist, a woman conjuring the elements, and the card of the Broken One.
Oh well.
Wow. Ross, I don't know about you, but none of these sound good.
Gray.
No
as
matter
you-
how good they sound, the pictures look appalling. So I don't know what to make of them.
Gray.
Broken Beast Berserker? Fuck.
As you sit there, you see Fiona. She just opens the concert curtains and she looks at you and gestures you to go in. I believe he's expecting you.
You're on
You're
mute,
muted.
right?
Yikes. Fine, but are you gonna be here after the show is done?
What show?
Let's be honest, fate reading, it's just a joke.
Only to those that do not believe.
I'll just walk right past her.
And the chains just. As you see this third gentleman walk in.
Then you must be the last, and he pulls up 2 cards: the Thief and the Tempter. He puts them back down, just in front of where you sit.
The
Any of
cute
you-
trick you did there.
It's just not a trick. I have a way with the cards. Do you know what those cards mean? Any of you?
I'm familiar with thieves. Berserker, you know.
Bruce is
I
looking a
think
little
it's
bit Bruce is looking a little bit distraught at the 2 cards he's been given, and he feels a little spasm almost at the back of his head. When he looks at the Beast one in particular, but that's when he feels that little spasm, and you probably notice him flinch when he looks at the Beast one, but the Berserker one is the one he then looks at again and just kind of looks at. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know what they mean. I dread to think.
Well, I can explain them to you. Berserker is a card of the swords, a card of the warrior. The Beast, something locked inside. Something I drew this morning. I expected all 3 of you to arrive. The cards never lie. I think the Elementalist, pointing to the Dragonborn, is pretty clear. I assume you have a way with fire. And Broken One, that was interesting.
Yes, that was the word that came to my head, of course. With an insult like that.
Honestly, I have no clue what's going on with that card. Maybe something to figure out in the future.
Without making any checks, some of you recognize some of these cards, as Dorothy actually told you. This was a couple of these cards are coinciding with her reading that she saw from this woman called Madame Louva, who she saw in her visions.
Wait a minute. These cards, are they Vistani?
Of course.
Oh. Our friend Dorothy's learning to use a deck of these. Interesting.
They are quite interesting.
Are your predictions set in stone?
No, these aren't predictions. These are the predictions of the people, well, not predictions in terms of what's going to happen, but who I was going to meet today.
Right. Bruce is sort of wringing his hands.
There's smoke very slowly starting to billow out of Aki's nostrils. Broken one.
Yes.
And you'll lay an insult like this at my feet and not even try to explain it, and claim that it's not your fault, it's the cards.
I understand you feel a loss. Something important?
I think you might have to be more specific.
Yes, that could apply to all of us at this point.
Maybe. And then, finally, you.
It's
Points to Grey.
fine.
Now, the Thief is a common card, but this one, the Tempter, you know what it means?
I have an idea.
Well, one sec, just getting up the descriptions. Where is it? Lost it. Oh, wait, there it is.
It's coming to me. It's coming to me.
Very nice.
Been coming through.
This card means you've been compromised recently, led astray. Does that fall in line with you?
I'm just gonna reach down and hold my whip. Careful what you say.
Hmm?
Are you trying to make friends?
No need for violence here. Just telling you what I came across today. So,
In your head, Mas, you hear a familiar voice that tells you, beware of this one.
that's fine.
What's fine?
What?
Who are you talking to?
I wasn't talking to anyone.
May we insight you?
You may.
I always have to mention him in player versus player.
Can I roll deception?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So that's a +7.
I will say as well, because it's your shop, you're in your environment, you are in your own terrain, do it with advantage at deception.
There's no reason to. I rolled an nat 20.
Never mind.
Oh, wow.
I rolled a 20. Also, if it helps, I rolled a 27.
Wow. Okay. You definitely think that he was talking to you. That's what you will all get.
Bruce just squints at us with his monocle. Like, okay.
So, shall we get to the reading?
Wait, that wasn't the reading.
No.
Oh, jolly good.
As I said, that was just me telling you who I was told to meet today. And you three, he holds up these 3 cards again, seem to fit that bill. Now, let's get to it. He puts all the cards back together and starts shuffling them. And, draws another 3. The card of the artifact. Are you holding something valuable?
Really quick. Can I watch his hands as they're moving? Is he doing what I kind of do with like a sleight of hand? Is he like pulling cards, like moving them around.
With a deception of 27, natural 20, I don't think you can tell.
Yeah. You are unsure.
Yeah.
He seems like a very skilled divination person somehow.
And when he shuffles the cards, sometimes there's moments where he's not even touching them and they begin to move very, very, very swiftly as well. And then he just brings them all together. There's this, you've seen it happen once before where, you threw the cards that Dorothy gave you and they all shuffled back. It seems that these cards have similar properties. And from what you can see, there is no deception, or there is no, he's just drawing out 3 random cards and showing them to you.
What's the temperature of the room that we're in? Is it very warm, very cold? Is there? Are there any?
I'll leave that to Mas, actually.
Yeah. It's probably not the best temperature, but it's also probably not the worst.
A nice.
Is that hot or cold?
Yeah, kind of what you want it to be. I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead.
It's getting hotter with Aki getting slowly angrier.
Well, yeah.
Oh, by Jove. In answer to your question, we do have several valuable things. Of course, you can tell we're armed and we have things on us.
There's something specific about this card. See what else is told. Was that a third? The card of the innocent. Are you helping someone?
Oh.
Should it relate to what we've already discussed?
We've been helping some dwarves, yes.
Well, we have been helping one.
Oh.
You just Bruce will side eye at Grey. One particular innocent creature.
As far as we know.
Yes, as far as we know.
And the final card. Card of Miss.
Is that
No.
miss or mist?
Miss, plural. M-I-S-T-S.
Got you.
Strange. A card of a quest. Adventurers. Presumably. Something unexpected is going to happen. It's going to really test the spirit.
Oh. Wonderful.
I can't decide whether this is insulting or just terrible news anymore.
You don't. I can't gather whether this is good news or bad. However, it's for your interpretation.
We've already endured some remarkable tests of fortitude, even just the last few days. For the 3 of us, I can speak for myself and 2 of us certainly, but and he looks at Grey and says, for one, I cannot. Certainly, 2 of us can speak for a great deal of test of our fortitude.
Clearly, he looks at the very bloodied shirt you're currently wearing.
Oh. Not necessarily physically. This is recent.
Oh.
Did you have a card of a 4th person?
No. Is there meant to be a 4th?
There could have been.
There should have been.
Oh. You've lost someone.
Yes.
Quite recent?
This
The Holy One. You hear on your mind. The Holy One.
Can you tell me, where was this? If you don't mind me prying.
A
It
day
was
or 2
in-
travels back.
in the forest. It was I just realized I forgot to tell you both. The forest was touched by what seems to have been the Fey wilds. That's why it looked so unusual. and well,
Do you
the manner
mean?
of
Do you mean the Feywild up your way to Candlekeep?
yes, we were told it wasn't normally like that, and well, the forest looked unusual, and upon further inspection, it seemed to have been touched by the Feywilds in some manner. I'm not completely familiar with such things, but I recognise that.
So, are you saying you came from Candlekeep?
Do you
I'll
think we
look at-
did?
Well, yeah, I was going to say I'll look to Grey and Aki if as if to confirm this or not.
If you're so great at reading fates, why don't you tell us where you think we came from?
I'm just asking you a question.
And we're asking for an answer.
Well, the back room there. Do you see it?
What do we see?
You'll see a dark door slightly open into a bit of a what looks. It's like slightly curved open. Looks to be a lighter room, maybe somewhat of an office.
Your
Aye.
office?
Yes. I have some business with Candlekeep. I assume, if you're from there, can we talk in there?
I do not object, but I'm not the only person here. Grey, Aki?
I wouldn't mind being somewhere a little lighter.
Got something to drink in there?
That can be sorted.
Then I think I'll go in there.
As Grey walks in ahead, does Maz go ahead with him?
Maz walks in before you all.
Okay. In that case,
Just,
Bruce will turn to Aki. And how is Aki right now?
Isn't he's the claws have slightly inadvertently started to elongate on his fingers as he's sitting there, furious.
Aki, are you all right?
I'm getting very bored of people telling me that I'm broken and I don't know who I am. It's mostly annoying because it's not all completely untrue. And with one finger, stab the card of the broken one and hold it up.
Aki, I would describe you as many things, but broken and incomplete, to my knowledge, are two very different things.
The longer we're traveling together, Bruce, the more I wonder how they're converging.
Well, you still stand, don't you? In spirit and in body?
Yes, I do.
I stand with you, my friend. He puts a hand to your shoulder.
Flick the card off across the room and march off into this office.
Let's go.
What is Maz wearing? Or what's he have on his
actually,
person?
Do you want me to show you?
Yes.
Yes.
One sec.
Let's see some
I'm
art.
I'm gonna post this in Discord, by the way.
Ooh.
Also,
Weapons?
there's a slight dagger to his side. It's not working. One sec.
The dagger's not working.
No, there's a dagger on his side, and what seems to be a rapier on his back. That's what it looks like.
Ooh. I like the hat.
Yeah, it's very cool. I changed the design from when I originally sent it to the DMs, but as you all,
He seems to have an iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All will be
he's
revealed.
making us-
I'm kind of taking over it, guys. But as you guys walk in, the door slams. There's a rapier against whoever was in last, and there is just a heavily armoured man,
What?
just where Maz was.
Bruce immediately reaches for his sword. What the devil
Oh.
is this?
I'm going to ask you one question. Are you here to kidnap me for not coming when I was meant to?
Yes.
What? No, what? No, Gray, shut up!
No, yes, we're here to kidnap you.
Insight.
Make a deception check, Gray. And actually, based on your two companions' reaction, do it at disadvantage.
Damn it.
Because you're saying something and the other two are like, what? You know, so it's kind of like, doesn't help your case.
Do I get advantage because of their reaction?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I will say so, yeah.
Disadvantage and he gets... Oh, I'm so
Right? Because
forked.
I rolled shit.
I'm forked. I lost.
Oh, that could have been
Not by
fun.
much.
You start to, even though you don't really know Gray, you start to see a pattern a little bit, and you think he's not telling the truth.
You're shit at this. He puts his sword away and returns to his original look. Okay, that's fine. Sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure.
That seemed completely
Nope.
unnecessary.
Oh, it was funny.
Honestly, I just wanted to make sure of my own safety. If it scared you in any way, I'm happy. It was fun.
You see a snarl sort of come across Bruce's features. Everyone recognizes that's the sort of like, you know, the look when he's in combat. Well,
Gray's just smiling.
I think
About
if Aki's standing anywhere near Gray, he's got one hand on his shoulder and he's starting to squeeze a little bit.
Sorry about
Yeah.
that. Honestly, I didn't. When I heard you were coming from that way, I assumed the worst. I'm sorry for that. I was meant to go up there a few years back. I think, similarly to you, I experienced a loss in those woods. I haven't really been the same since. That's all I'll say.
Experienced a loss.
Tell us why we're in this office. After
Oh,
threatening
this
us
was just...
and
this was-
insulting us.
Honestly, I just didn't want to mess with the carpet. You guys can come out with her, and I'll just walk out.
Wait, did you lie about the alcohol?
Oh, the bottom the bottom left. There's a bottle in there.
I'm gonna reach for the bottom right.
It's
Anything
a
else?
whiskey. There's a whiskey glass, and there's two whiskey glasses, and yeah, that's about it. It's about a half-drunk bottle.
what kind of whiskey?
That's-
Answer carefully.
It was the first thing that came in my head. I don't
I'd love
know.
game. Answer this
I don't-
question carefully.
Is
I
it
don't
Jack?
drink whiskey. It was
Is it
just it was just the first thing that came into my head. I don't
Yeah,
drink whiskey.
Lucky has already failed in this question. Look, it's all up to you.
Jameson?
Fail. Fail. Fail.
Lafroig. You need to say Lafroig.
Too late. Too late.
It's a critical success with Andy, actually.
A frog is critical success. Anything else, natural one.
Aki's now following very closely to this extremely irking person. As he leaves through, he just drags two fingernails along the door, just making sure he leaves a mark on it.
Aki
Oh, wow.
was here.
Just really
He kind of makes it
furious.
sound like when you do like on a chalk on a board, like you hear it.
Are you going to be doing that all day?
No.
He says to you.
No, we have plans. More all the time. Why are we here?
You walked into my business.
You were in Vermilion.
And?
We're going.
Are you? Have fun.
Why don't you come with us?
I'm sorry?
How's business here? Good?
Sometimes.
How do you feel about, say, hypothetically, 0.5% of a platinum mine?
0.5%.
0.5.
0.5%.
0.35.
0.35. Well, the 0.5 sounds better, but what do I have to do?
For a start, you can stop threatening us with rapiers.
That's fair.
Secondly, point them at somebody else if they turn up.
That's also fair.
What's Fiona doing later?
I had dibs.
Aki is more charming than you.
He's got 1.5 feet on you and he's about 45 degrees surface temperature at the moment.
My business partner does her own thing. I'll let her decide that.
Well,
So
on
what
a more
else?
practical.
What do you
sorry,
do
Aki.
besides telling the future? Or, you know, not in my case.
Well, I spend time with the locals. I hopefully haven't met him, but the gossipy bitch that is the flower man sells her always has a good tale to tell.
What did you call him?
The gossipy bitch.
You know, he's actually a pretty friendly guy. You sure you want to call him that one more time?
I feel like I'm causing more hostility here, aren't I?
I'm gonna headbutt him.
Oh God!
If he has to get past Aki's going to stick an elbow in him.
Yeah, that will be like one of the situations that as you do, time kind of slows down, and you all realize what is about to happen. You can interact.
Yeah, Aki just body check him at that point. Just knock him off balance because that's we're not making this worse.
Can I give myself a chance to guide myself with guidance? Do I notice this?
Doesn't guidance only have to be given to other people?
It's
Oh, does it?
characters. No, you can guide yourself. It's characters honeymoon.
one-
Sure, you guide yourself.
I'm willing. I'm willing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
your character's honeymoon for now. So yeah, sure, please guide yourself.
How do I get out of this?
So, Aki, you've body checked Gray out of the way. Gray, it's your turn. What did you wanna? You've been stopped by Aki.
Fuck. I did not think I was gonna get body checked by Aki.
If you're not sure what to say at the minute, Bruce could step in and say something while you're sort of like, if you want.
Yeah.
That's enough! Gray! Some of us have more than enough reason to be annoyed with this gentleman. We don't need things being made worse.
I'm sorry for anything I've caused.
Look, on a more practical note, we could do with some support in our job that we have here with the mine.
In Vermilion.
Yes. And it seems as my colleague felt that you may wish to partake in that. It may even give you some good graces with Candlekeep, which you seem to be lacking right now, judging by your display with the sword.
Yes. I may be lacking. Have you ever been to Vermilion, any of you?
No, that's why we stopped here on the way. We were
Yes.
told there were tales to hear.
You need a guide. I can gladly. I have to be there myself anyway.
You hear the chains kind of move past, and you see Fiona step in. Yes, you do, Maz. Make
Yeah.
sure you go visit him.
Yes. Can I think I'll be leaving for a few days. Can you take over?
Of course, of course. It will be my pleasure. Make sure you bring
Well-
him back safe then. She looks at all three of you.
Of course. Maz, no pun intended, but all cards on the table. We'll tell you exactly what we're here to do. You tell us exactly what you need to do there yourself. Sure, we can do it here at the tavern or something.
Fine. That works for me. What do
Jolly
you want
good.
to know?
Let's go to the tavern and discuss this, shall we?
The tavern keeper was somebody we should be talking to as well, says
Oh.
the food truck people.
Oh, what's a truck?
Food truck.
I completely blanked on what it was called there.
Food wagon. Food wagon.
Aki, I know you're angry, but you're now talking in tongues.
Yeah, right. No, the innkeeper is someone we need to talk to about Vermilion. Is this somebody you know, Maz?
The innkeeper?
Yeah, you will know his name.
Yeah,
you
of course I
will
know.
Yeah, Lucas, you know him.
Lucas.
He's an old man.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah, I
fresh.
know him.
Also previously of your hometown.
Yes, he is. Me and him go way back.
Sounds familiar.
Yes.
Maz,
Wait.
what did you say your full name was? Or is it just Maz?
Well, I used to go by Mazrian, but now it's just Maz.
How do you spell that?
Mazrien.
Oh,
It's just Maz. And I assume from the random streams you were Grey. He is Aki, and you? He points to the green one.
I believe I introduced myself earlier. Wait, you know
Did you?
you know, yes.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah,
you
my
know my
boss.
friends. You don't know me.
He's got two names, two people living inside him.
that does explain the cards. That does explain the cards.
Who are you
I'm-
talking to?
I don't know what you mean.
What?
It's fine.
My name is
You can
Bruce.
speak?
Bruce Lockwood.
Oh, very interesting to meet you.
Right. Tavern, then. We'll arrange our rooms. I
Yes.
imagine we'll be back at some point.
All right.
Sure.
I need a drink. That's enough of this.
So do I. Glass of wine would be nice.
As you step out of this building, the kind focus, and you start making your way to the inn/stroke tavern known as the Bored Weasel. We will take a break here and continue to find out what happens when they enter the tavern.
Yeah, I have to say before we go on break, fucking hell, look, that was I'm so impressed. That was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
That was
Can I just say, I want to say to Ross quickly, honestly, I decided halfway through picking out the cards, I'm going to do 2 cards per person, and then I was like, oh shit, I can't think of another one for you. I didn't want to stop the game, so I was like, the broken one, that'll do. That's why I also why I quickly moved past it, because I didn't know what the fuck to say.
That's not going away.
I think it added.
Yeah, I think of something.
Also,
It added really well
D&D
to that.
D&D Beyond's description of the card did not help. I just thought I'd be very elusive.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Very nice, amazing. All right, don't go anywhere. We will back shortly. Thanks for watching. We love you being there, and see you soon.
See you in a bit.
In a bit. Alrighty, and welcome back. We are live again. Thanks for hanging on with us, and we will see what the rest of the story take us today. As you guys left the kind fate, you guys exit his shop, and as you do, just for one glimpse of second as you leave the actual shop itself, as you look back, you see that it's all this mist on the door. That is something that is normal to you, Mas. And you see as you exit this beautiful leaf town with lots of interactions and people going around. You see the open air market once more, and there is all these semi-permanent tables and tents through a circular area that allows cart and wagons and all these different merchants that you interacted with. And there is three main roads that that are put in a junction together. Surrounded the intersection, you see, like I described before, all the different shops and farmers and clothiers and bakers, and far away in the distance you see this sign where it says the board whistle. That is where you are going. And I'll leave it with you to with more.
As you push open the door, you see that this is a mid-range tavern and inn. Inside, it features a dining area that seats probably around 40 people comfortably. There seems to be stairs that go up and perhaps lead to multiple doors, which could possibly be bedrooms, seeing that this is also an inn. And you downstairs where you see all the seating, there is a bar there. You do see there's a few people, probably travelers, that are sitting down, talking, having a drink and stuff. But the main kind of person that kind of pops out is the bartender himself. He looks very old. He's human, with white kind of, almost looks like a fluffy hair at the top. I'm surprised he still has hair for how old he looks. He has this very charming smile, kind of hunched as well, but his hands are well worked, like callous, like he's been doing work for a very, very long time. And as he kind of stands there, kind of cleaning a glass, sees you come in, and he says, let me just set the music as well for you guys. Bup, bup, bup. Yeah, Presidente goes, well, I've never seen any of you around here. Welcome. Have a seat. I'll get you a drink right away. Oh. You haven't been in here, Mass, for a while?
You know me, business. Been busy. But hopefully you remember the usual.
I got you. I'm sitting around. And you see him kind of just humming the tail, pouring a few drinks, gets a big tankers out and fills them up, brings them over. And you see him, he's very still hunched and stuff like that. He walks with good stride, no limps or anything like that. Very, very strong, healthy old man, you could say. And brings it over. What is it, Mass?
Hmm?
You say something?
Oh. No, actually, I was going to say out of game. The usual is just booze. It doesn't matter what.
Oh, he knows. He knows.
That's all. That's what I was going to say. Actually, just above game.
Mm-hmm.
Booze.
Lucas, he did say that he wanted you to keep the drinks coming, and Maz said he would take care of us for the night.
Don't listen to him. He's an idiot.
Oh, well, who's paying then?
What's the damage, Lucas?
No, fine. I've already bothered them. I might as well.
So you're paying?
I'll pay for this round.
Alright, Well, there's four of you. That'll be 4 silver pieces.
This will be a freebie, so you don't need to mark it off, just because you are a honeymoon character.
Excuse me,
Yes,
Bart,
you're
Bart,
too
I
kind.
hope you
Out
don't-
of game.
I hope
Uh,
you don't mind.
Lucas is the name.
Lucas, pleasure to meet you. Bruce Lockwood, sir. If you don't mind, I wouldn't mind if you had any
Well-
wine in or something like that.
I can look around to see if I got something in the back for you. No problem. And if we're doing formalities, you can call me Lucas Grosvenor. That's my
Pleased to
full
meet you, Lucas Grosvenor.
name. All right. Oh, I'm not as agile as I used to be. I'll be right back. At a moment, he leaves. Gives you a couple of minutes to discuss if you want to say anything.
Right.
This is one of
well,
the gentlemen who was in Vermilion before. We should try and get something out of him about what he remembers.
Yes, he was. He used to live there. Me and him both.
You?
Yes.
When? You don't look remotely the same age.
He points to the ears.
I thought
I don't
thought they
age like he
covered-
does.
I thought you were covered by a hat.
Oh, well, it's more of a fedora, so it doesn't really cover the ears.
Oh, are you a half elf?
I try my best to be.
Oh,
I speak Elvish. Do you understand what I'm saying?
He replies in Elvish, No.
You're real fucking funny.
I try my best to be.
Oh well, I got this bottle right here. I'm just. It's been open.
I'll take the bottle. I wouldn't mind the bottle, thank you.
I don't really know what price you. Normally, you don't ask for wine here, but let's say
I'll mage hand over a gold coin.
up.
It's over.
It's
Thank
the
you.
most you've ever paid me, man. Thank you.
Lucas, you got a second, or are you running around?
I think everyone's tankard is full. What can I help you with?
Vermilion.
You see him as he is smiling, his demeanor kind of changes and saddens a little. What about it?
We understand there was some trouble there, but we've been contracted to go down there and look into it. Your name came up. You're from there, or where?
Yeah. Honestly, don't really want to think about it too much, but been about 70 years since I last left from there. Lost my wife there in a mining accident.
We heard about it.
Yes, it's all in this book that we have here. I pull the book out of the bag of holding, and it's detailed in here, rather fanciful. Possibly written by a bard, maybe, but a lot of miners lost their lives in this mine, and then there was said to have been cursed afterwards, and I think the people left the town behind after people went missing.
I don't really know too much about what happened after my wife died. There's an empty grave there because we couldn't pull her out. And well, I came here, stayed with this tavern. This is my baby now. Been running it for 70 years, give or take. And yeah.
Were you a tavern keeper back in Vermilion?
Well, no, I used to work the mines too, but we had a shift, and it was her turn, and It just all of a sudden, we could hear the rumble on the ground. That was it. She was gone. Taken from me. My poor Lorna.
I'm terribly
Sorry.
sorry, sir.
We recently experienced a loss ourselves. I'm sorry to bring it up.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Were you thinking of going there? I wouldn't really advise it. It's empty. Not really gonna find anything there.
I'm gonna be guiding them. There's, well, you know why I go there.
Is it that time of the year already?
Uh, you know it.
That time of the year.
We do need to have that conversation, Maz. All being
Ready when
honest
you
with
are.
one another.
Why not?
Okay, very well. Correct me if I'm wrong with any of the details, Aki, Gray, but we're here to basically, on behalf of some dwarves, to clear it out the mine, make sure there's nothing else dangerous in there. Obviously, we can't do much about rubble and such, but it's probably home to all manner of critters and other such things. We clear out the pests, we get paid, we get a stake in the mine, and yes, that's what we're here for. As well as a little sojourn to the local temple of Saloon. But we'll do that before we go to the mine. What about you?
Not to be indelicate, but it was 50 platinum per person who helps to clear the mine.
Well, quite the good investment you've got there. I'd very much like to join you.
Why are we... Hold on a second. I'm gonna pull Bruce and Aki to the side. Why are we telling him all this? You guys... Earlier we were ready to fight this guy. Now you're just gonna tell him everything?
No, you
You
were ready
hear-
to fight him.
You hear a crunch.
Bruce,
What?
are you crunching
Yes.
extra loudly, I hope?
That's
No,
not
that
the-
wasn't me.
As
Is
you
it the
look,
rat?
you see that there is McDougan and Jamie who are eating what it seems to be roasted locusts. At this point, McDougan just pulled the head off. Oh, so good! And they keep like crunching around, and they're sitting in a table not too far from you.
That's rather distracting. Above game, I've had not roasted locusts, but I've had crickets before. They're quite good.
Yeah, scorpions. They were good.
Roaches.
But back, Jesus, back to where we were. Bruce says to Gray, "No, Gray, you were about to fight him."
I'm
I
sorry.
was
I'm
closer
not
to
the one
fighting
who-
you.
I'm not the one who just clawed up his door.
Yes, Aki was dealing with his anger in a relatively healthy way.
Actually, can I just say, I forgot to mention, while it was happening, I was probably prestidigitating it back into a reasonable state as he was doing it.
It wasn't to cause damage, so that's fine.
Aki was ear.
Listen, I know it looked bad, but I'm just trying to size this guy up, okay? I just
Tried to headbutt him.
How else do you figure out how strong someone else is?
I don't know, an arm wrestle.
And how would I know his skills or talents? His weaknesses?
Headbutting him's not
I-
going to help that.
We are still working out yours.
Amazing.
Did you just cast vicious mockery on Gray? For cutting words.
None of us have shared this information. Most of us haven't fought each other. Let's just try talking to someone before you pull a knife on them.
So that's how my mentors
It's-
taught me. I'm just
It's
saying.
just easier.
Fine. Maz. Right? Listen, I'm sorry about trying to hit you earlier. honestly, it should have been a hit, but you know what? No. It's. Can you tell us what your strengths are at least?
Well, he flicks a card out of nowhere. I'm good with a card. Okay.
Anything else?
The cards are back. I'm going to need another drink. Lucas,
Alright,
Yes.
bring it up.
Bruce is not bothered with
Drinks,
glass. He's
food.
necking it straight from the bottle.
Well, I can do this, and I hold up my hand, and then, Gray, you just feel a tap on your head. You don't really. Actually, I think would he notice? I cast Mage Hand. It's not invisible though, because I'm not. Yeah.
So if you feel it, just tap,
Yep.
tap.
You see, like,
You can see a mage hand.
yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. You see him, just a large hand just tap you on the head. Also, I can control the forces of nature.
Oh, that
Forces
would be
of-
rather useful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maz, stop showing off here. This is not your workplace, this is mine. If you want to take that, you want to do your business, do it in your own shop.
I'm sorry, but they asked.
Alright,
You know me. I have to oblige.
puts the drinks down. Some roasted crickets. Tasty.
Oh, lovely. Crunch,
Nice.
crunch.
If you are going to Vermilion, would you mind just placing some flowers on my wife's grave?
Of course.
No, I don't mind.
Yeah. Oh,
Certainly.
I don't know if it's gonna still be there, but there's this big tree that in the center of the town. In the town, in one of the holes, you'll find an old necklace. If you can get that back for me, that'd be so kind too.
If we can.
We will do it.
Have you spoken to Astra? He's from Vermilion too. He was pretty young when we left from there. But just speak to him. He probably has. He's a talkative fella. He probably has a lot of information. Information flows through that man one way or another.
Yes. Oh, could you tell us anything at actually, Maz? First of all, Maz, we've told you what we need. We've told you what we're doing. Why on earth are you going to Vermilion? And can either of you tell us anything about it? What? Surely some people going missing would not cause a whole town to abandon itself. What other manner of horrors took place?
It's an odd place, I'll tell you that much. But I'm going to, let's say, meet a friend.
And?
Pay my respects.
Dead? Alive? What?
Yes.
Can I
First of
headbutt
all,
him
I'd
now?
One more moment. First of all, I'd like to insight that if you'd allow that. Look, and also, I've lost my train of thought. Shit. Oh yeah, we were 100% honest with you. We expect the same. We held
Okay.
nothing back.
Okay, fair enough. I just like to be mysterious. Is there anything wrong with that?
Honesty is just a point of view. You hear in your mind.
That's true.
Above game. Bullshit.
There is.
I agree.
I have a friend from there, another friend from there who sadly passed away a few years back, and me and Fiona made sure to bury him there, where he wanted.
Right. Very well. Thank you.
It's not something I like to bring
if,
up
we're,
much.
if we're being honest, we're trying to figure out if I'm related to an ancient dragon that vanished, a city that exploded, and I've recently exploded.
Oh,
I'll
we're
keep that
all
in
right.
mind.
all on the table.
To
then.
walk,
Bloody
we're
hell.
about to walk into another mountain and another enclosed space. Everybody should know this.
So you explode. Good to know.
Only once.
Once, one could argue, is once too many times. Yeah, crickets. At this point, I'm fairly sure Aki puts an uncomfortable number of insects in his face.
They're rather good, aren't they?
Yeah, they taste really, really nice. Quite crunchy. They are roasted and they got some herbs and spices on them, so they are like a little bit of a kick.
Nice.
Okay, fried cockroaches.
No, no cockroaches. They are locusts and crickets. Like you have two sizes. There is some of them much bigger and crickets as well. No cockroaches.
Does this town have something else besides insects? Maybe lamb, you know.
You see a menu there, actually, as you are perusing around. And on the menu, you have stock pot stew, you have minced pork, roast goat cheese, you have some roasted lamb and cheese, grilled salmon, rack of lamb. There is lots of different dishes there.
I guess I'm gonna get myself the rack of lamb. Anyone else want something?
Yeah, you sure you want that? I mean, you should try one of our best known dishes, salty fish surprise.
I'm very
Rumor?
poor, and I'll stick with that rack of lamb.
Alright?
Did you just
Salty
call that a
fish
salty surprise?
The salty fish surprise.
Bruce,
not
that
bad,
sounds
sir.
something you'd like.
Oh, I'm quite enjoying these crickets.
Seafood.
A woman that is also sharing the bar with Lucas shouts to the kitchen, "One rack of lamb coming up!"
Maz, is there anybody who is handy with magical items in town?
Well, this isn't that big of a town, actually. Mo, is Cisco, is anyone?
I'd say
I
it
know
again,
about
sorry.
the town. Is
Anybody handy with magic items or can help with something if we want to have something looked at or fixed?
You will know that there is actually sorry, let me just check here because I saw it a second ago. Oh, here, yeah. Apologies, guys. Yeah, here. Vendor on the market. Blah blah blah.
Don't forget,
wow.
guys. Make sure
I
to
cannot
follow.
find it. I know, man. I cannot find
It's
it.
in
I saw
the
it a second
market.
ago.
There are enchanters and
Yeah.
alchemists. Is that what you're
Yeah,
looking for?
that's it. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. So you will know that mass that there is enchanters and alchemists that frequently are in the central market.
I think in the central, maybe an enchanter, maybe an alchemist. Is that what you're interested in?
Enchanter sounds more the game. Is that just nearby?
It's a few minutes walk. Pricey though.
I think I might nip over there.
Yeah, you remember this little halfling, quite unusual, like a halfling drow called Dimitri. That is one of the most popular enchanters around.
That's
I-
Dimitri though.
Dimitri. You got it.
Really quick, Bruce, Aki, how are you guys doing on health potions, by the way?
Let me check. Rather well, I believe.
I'm
Let me
okay.
see. Oh, fewer than I realized. One potion of greater healing and 2 regular potions.
Oh.
Okay, Aki, hold on to this one, and I'm gonna pass him our regular potion of healing.
Oh, I'm working on something that I hope means I won't need to take this from you. You hold on to that.
Oh, one rack of lamb. Here we go. Puts it on the table.
Anyone want a
Yeah,
piece?
and Lucas knows that it's one of the most priciest dishes that we have. That it costs 2 gold pieces, just out of game.
I'll take 2 gold pieces out of the kitty, the main kitty, and I'll put it
Ooh.
towards that.
But it's shareable. It's a nice sharing
Yeah.
portion.
So
Thank
we'll
you,
we'll
Bruce.
we'll we'll dig it. It's from the kitty. It's you. Thank yourself too.
Aki will rip off a couple off the end and wander out the door looking for Dimitri.
I'm gonna take the biggest piece I can. Aki, wait up!
Hold on. We're on our way to salute the temple salute after we get that.
Bruce is being the mature one.
Before you leave, Mass, Lucas stops you and goes, "You be careful up there. You don't want no mine collapsing on these lots. They may be wandering into dangerous spaces. You look after them."
I will. I'm curious about these 3. I think it's going to be fun.
All right. See you soon.
Is everybody coming with me? I didn't realize.
Well,
See you
above game,
soon.
Why not?
above game, Bruce wants to sort of go to the Temple of Saloon, and presumably this is en route to there.
Sure.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to rush that. I thought I was just gonna get to wander off.
I wanted to do another shopping episode.
As you walk down the streets, you eventually return back to marketplace, and inside this market, a little bit further down, you see there's more kind of clothing and kind of tools and little trinkets and stuff. And there you see one that says Cisco. What's the shop called?
Yeah. Yeah. You see, there is like a little shop, really humble, and it's called. The Veil of the Spider Queen.
Oh,
Oh dear.
Oh, the Spider Queen. Interesting.
A little bit too happy with the amount of lamb that he's managed to get hold of. Aki will just kind of boulder in through the door. Or curtain, or whatever's there. Hello, Dimitri? Dimitri.
As you enter his shop, it goes past green and purple curtains that seem to be enchanted in some kind of way. So as you move the curtain makes a noise, like a sounds like a bells. Cling, gong, 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 gong. And then you see straight away that there is like 4 little creatures that look like unusual insectoids, but they seem to be moving and tall and walking like in 2 feet. One of them kind of nods the head and looks at you, and the other 3 stay behind, and they're like tiny creatures, like little insects looking things. And then, as you
Dimitri?
said, the name Dimitri, behind it you see this little man dressed up like a wizard clothing, purple and green robes. He's got like a spider symbol on his armor, like a quite large, like an open spider, and he's pale, alabaster skin completely, quite handsome but short fellow, pointy ears, and hey, how are you doing, my friend? How can I help you, huh?
I'm looking for some. Oh, it's a fantastic coat. I'm looking for some help with. Could you transfer, conceivably, an enchantment from one item to another?
Oh, a difficult job you have in there, eh?
Yeah.
Gonna take a little bit, but if you have the coin, I'm happy to do it, huh?
Well, the task would be this helmet, which is hideous.
Alright. Oh, it's
I'd
an
like to-
ugly thing, huh?
Right. People look at me funny already. I can't put this thing on. I would like this, the thing this does, on a ring.
Oh, comprehend languages, huh? I see there. He kind of like does this Jedi kind of movement over the helmet, and he says that. And you want it on this tiny ring, huh?
Yeah, well, Aki will just slip off one of the few he's got left that he didn't give to Bookworm. Yeah, I mean, this is nothing special, but
he
if it
holds
could be,
and as he holds it, the ring looks like 3 times the size on his hand because he's tiny himself. And he says, "Yo, tiny ring, huh?" And he's like holding it. It's like he could put it as a bracelet, pretty much. All right. And when do you want this by? Huh? It'll take me maybe 4 days, I'll say. 3 if I'm lucky. How long are you planning to stay in Merin, huh?
guys,
How long it takes to do the job, really? We could
I mean-
stick around a bit longer if it takes a bit of time.
would this
Yeah.
not be a useful thing to have with us if we're down there? I wouldn't want to give it away and then not have it with us, but this is an insane item to be carrying around.
What does
For
it
an
do?
extra price, I can do one day. Huh? It's gonna be maybe I'm gonna have to be working day and night. It's gonna make the price. I will say a little bit more, like at least 25 gold more. Huh?
What?
Well,
What?
which would bring the total to what?
Oh, that will be out of game because I out of my head. I'm not actually sure. So I'll tell you. Okay, that's
He's
not
looking
bad,
around
guys.
for out of
I'm
game.
sorry.
Above game, I do remember the sword I
will-
got was 500
Yeah.
gold, and that was at a discount. I'd
Yeah.
imagine different enchantments cost more.
Yeah, maybe help me more if you
I'll
if you know
double-check.
from the top of your head.
1 second. I just need to check something
Yeah.
about the helmet. Keep role playing.
Is it? Yeah. Wait, Aki, 1 second.
But yeah,
Aki,
that much. And it sounds like reasonable.
Mhm.
He's
Aki,
not
just-
ripping you off.
just so you know, the enchanter at Candlekeep, they can do the same thing, but we could probably they would do a discount if we keep using them because they get sort of enchantment residue and that such thing. It was £500, 500 gold for the sword. Shing, this one. Shoo.
I mean, 500 sounds rather a lot considering this is a preference.
I agree.
Uh,
I thought
Sorry, I'm going to put
Uh,
my head in and say, what does this helmet do? Languages, right?
understand languages.
I speak 6. We will be fine.
But not all.
We have a
Oh.
tendency to be attacked by things that we've never seen before. Hence, I wouldn't speak the language.
Mr. Maza, I have something for you actually. The little thing you asked me, the scroll is ready now, huh?
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
Thank
you wanted a scroll of a scorching ray, you told me, huh?
That
Or
sounds
was it
right.
whole person? I can't remember. I have 2 for you, but one is for next week, I thought.
I actually can't remember.
Mold person.
I mean, there will be like same price. Each of them 75 gold piece, like we spoke.
I
But
may have
for
may
the
have-
2, I mean,
for the 2.
yeah, it got special price for you, brother. Always, we work together. You read my fate, I do your discount items, as always, huh?
I know. Business hasn't been too fun at the minute. I may have to come back next week.
You know what?
Yeah,
Take
yeah.
them on the house. You come back. You're not going
You sure?
anywhere, are you? Of course. I mean, you live around the corner. We are like, I wouldn't say family because you are an elf and I'm.
You know,
but
I will make this up to you, Dimitri.
that's all right, my brother. And he hands you the scroll of whole person. I take this one for now, huh? And then once you come, we sort the rest. Okay. But what about you guys? We have different things here. I have a new spell books. If any of you use spell books, I have hourglass. I have orbs, crystals, wands, rods, anything you want. Potions, perfume vials, oils, antitoxin. You name it.
It'll cost,
I know it's a. Oh, go ahead, Mo.
I'll just quickly. It'll cost him 50 gold to do the enchantment. It's just,
Oh, okay.
yeah. If he wants it
50
quicker,
total to do the enchantment.
if he wants it quicker, then 75 with the 25 on top. So yeah, 75.
Okay, oh, that's awesome. Thank you, bro.
Bruce.
We're in no rush, and I don't know how much the enchantment would cost a Candlekeep, I'm afraid. I imagine the sword was more expensive.
Well, that is true. Then I'll save that for there. But maybe we can look for something that is not easily found in Candlekeep here. Staffs, rods. You said this is a little short for me. He says, gesturing to the very nice, fancy raven walking stick he's been using.
They are arcane focus. I see you. You're a magic user as well, sorcerer, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I have a
Anything
couple
appropriate?
of wands. Well, I have a U wand. I don't know if you're interested. It's not really hasn't have any extra property, but it looks really good. It will go quite well with your skills. I have this one. This red one looks good with you, huh?
Above game, is this just a regular? Is this a red quarterstaff or
He's trying to give you a wand, a red one. Yeah,
a red wand?
Yeah.
I think Aku pulls out his preposterous looking one with all the different colored bells and orbs on it. This is pretty me. I've got one of the. I don't even know what this one does yet. I wouldn't.
Oh wow, that's chaotic, huh? You like chaos, I see. That goes very well with you, huh?
We don't know yet. I've not had an opportunity to try it. One can only.
Oh, he's gonna surprise you, my friend. This.
I believe you.
You look as you look around, you see there is a picture in the back, and it looks like a picture. There's a picture of him. You see that there is this kind of lion man standing there. There is this little girl wearing kind of a beret. You see there is also like seems like a blind man as well. He's wearing glasses. It's just they're all in a line in this picture,
Oh.
and they're just kind of just probably old friends or something like that you notice. Seems to be
This is a
welcoming.
reference. This is a reference I've just missed.
Yeah,
To
no,
this
this is
guy,
a
to
character. Yeah, it's a character from my other game. It's a campaign Finnish character that Mo and I used to play together. So
Got you.
yeah. Dimitri, not here. You never know. Fate takes you wherever. Anyway, back to business. Stop staring to my old band. I was an adventurer like you once. Before I settled here. Nice town, Marina. Good business.
God,
I'll
you
tell
didn't
you what.
say it.
There's only really one thing I'm missing now, and he says, looking at his fingers. Normally I have a lot of rings, but there's one I've always wanted, and you can put spells in it, or a spell in it. My mum used to have one of these.
A ring of a spell storing, huh?
You got anything like that?
Let me just ask. Oi, Pi, have a look behind the shop to see if they have something, huh? And then out of his pocket, this twig man that looks actually exactly like this, because this was my prop for the game that I was using. So you see this creature
Oh no.
just walks in and comes out of his pocket like, and then he jumps into the floor and he rushes running into the back of the shop, followed by these kind of insectoids that were there staring at you, and they all like squeak and go inside the shop and start. You hear some rummaging. Take it easy with the potions. Oh damn it! These creatures are gonna drive me crazy one day. Make a fate roll, Aki.
Cool. Ooh, I've got so many things open. One. Hi.
Okay.
Hey. 14.
All right. After a few seconds, you see that Pi, the little twig creature, comes with a ring, like kind of like standing with his one finger up, and he's got like a ring that he's carrying, and all the other creatures are following him like around. Oh, lucky you, huh? We have one of these for you, huh? But it's pricey, this rare item. I don't know.
This ring is actually takes 2 fingers, and it's kind of one ring, and spirals into 2, so you have to wear it in 2 fingers. And it's gold, and it's got just like these markings all across, all the way around, in 2 lines.
Gold. That's exactly the kind of thing that would appeal.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. I
You
see
say
that.
you say pricey. What does pricey mean?
Well, rare items, you're already used to it. Pricey will be. Let me just check. And he opens this little book and starts rummaging through it.
Rarely
And then
a good
he
sign.
says to you, this is gonna cost at least. I mean, you're friends with Mas, so I will say 4,000 gold because you're a friend. 4,000 gold pieces is stores up to 5th level spells here, and not something for everyone.
Oh, 4,000.
And I already have a few spells in there as well, straight for you to use, huh?
You do.
Yeah, my favorites.
I'm afraid 4,000's too rich for my friend. Even if between us we couldn't do this. Without
afraid
the
not.
spells in it, there's no. If you were to remove the spells from it, or there's nothing I can do. Or,
Well, make a persuasion check.
oh, but,
Ooh.
we're all surprised.
Okay.
I was gonna say that like secretly hide a guidance, but okay, don't need it.
Yeah, you can actually do the guidance. Roll a d4 on top of it because
Yeah, we don't know what this guy will roll.
Fair enough.
There's a man's just whisper, "You got this, my man."
Okay.
Also, I'll just kind of notice like a little add extra. I'm not close to you, by the way. I just kind of do the guidance anyway.
All right. I can remove the spells. 3,500. That's the best I can do without losing money from brother to brother, huh? But don't tell anyone that I'm doing such a discount to your friends, Mas. I don't want everyone coming here asking for extra discounts, huh?
It will not leave this room.
Much like the ring, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's even combining our totals that would not have enough. I'm afraid. I'm terribly sorry.
Oh,
But now
sorry to hear
that I know it's here, Dimitri, I'll remember you.
I mean, if you want something affordable that you can maybe get, that you might want, I have spell components. I don't know if you are you need anything especially, or for you. He looks at you, Gray. I have some poisoner's kit if you're interested. I know you look like some kind of guy that will be interested on poisons, huh?
Wow.
That is tempting, but believe it or not, I'm not big into poisons. I have something that take care of that for me. But if you wouldn't happen to have something for trade, I could offer you this cape I have. I'm gonna take it off, but I'm only looking for a cape in exchange. It makes you harder to get hit by, is what I've heard. Do you happen to have?
Oh. Rare magic, that is. One of those displacement, right? Something displacement. Unfortunately, I used to have one for a while, but I sold it off, and at the moment I don't have. I'm afraid. But anyway,
How about? Would you happen to have a cloak that'll make me stronger. Or they used to have it in my
Yeah, I'm sorry. I only take gold. I don't really do exchange. I'm not that kind of guy, you know. I'm
This-
sorry. Yeah.
does allow you to teleport and vanish.
Oh, I can do that myself. You know, I'm a high caster. I'm not. No disrespect. I'm not a youngling like you. I've been around for a while.
I doubt you
I
could
can-
teleport. You don't look like you could.
Oh, please, don't insult me. Do you even know what a level 9 spell looks like?
I bet I know what you look like, and you look like you could barely cast level 1.
Oh well. I guess that was the business finish for you, my friend.
Alright, wait, can I? have,
Anyway, back to you, my Dragonborn friend. Anyone wants anything, or
Oh,
I'm afraid we only have a few. We only have a couple of hundred gold between us at the moment, though we are hoping to come into some money soon. In which case, you'll be seeing it.
yeah? So you come back when you have more. But yeah, that's awesome. Very nice to meet you, and your friends are my friends, Mas, like always, huh?
thank you, Dimitri. Actually, there is something I want to know if you have any. Any crystal beads?
Oh, crystal beads. Sure.
Yes.
Which kind do you want?
Whatever you've got, really. There's something I've been working on, and I haven't been able to figure it out yet, but I think I'm
I have
close.
I have a bunch here. I mean, these ones are quite rare. I could do 20 of these for like 5 gold, huh?
That'll be great.
Alright, and he pulls out all this from behind the counter. He pulls out all these beautiful glass colors with like blues and greens and kind of colors resembling the twilight as well, like oranges and blacks and reds. Alright, that'll be good then. So farewell, whatever you are doing, and I will see you guys later. Come on, boys. Where is the tea party going, huh? And he starts speaking to his critters, and they all start like, ooh, and they all like start moving like frantically, like he said something like super exciting, and they just start rushing behind the thing. All right.
How much was one potion of greater healing?
A potion of greater healing. That will be 100 gold pieces, right, Mo? Out of my top of my head. 50 is a regular, and a greater is 100, yeah?
Were they that much? Jesus.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's actually more expensive, but
Never mind
let
then.
me
nope,
see.
nope,
It's a half
nope.
a
That's
do-
right. That's right. Yeah, 100 gold pieces.
Yeah, no, actually it's here, yeah. Common, so yeah, so 100 gold pieces, yeah, for the
You
greater
also-
healing.
You also have you have Brins you don't use.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the pile I have that I can share out. That's all. It's fine. I'll leave them in emergency. We're good just now.
Okay.
You have one more question before you go on. I'm really sorry about being rude earlier.
Oh, that's alright, I forgive you. You humans are rude by nature, what can I say?
Absolutely, we are horrible, appalling creatures. Are you? It's more like 2 favors. Are you able to upgrade this whip at all?
I don't, what is that?
Hold-
Which
call
weapon
it
do you pull?
The magical whip.
Oh. I don't really do enchantments with weapons, to be honest with you. But I really don't like the magic on this thing. I have to say, it's dark. I don't really work with dark magic anymore. It's not my
What?
style anymore.
What do you mean, dark magic?
Dark what?
Yes, the magic of evil, you know, the power of evil. I once was myself a follower of the Spider Queen, but things change, times change. No one
Alright.
cares about that anymore.
You've done enough talking. It's fine.
Oh no, I don't think he's done enough talking. What? Please explain.
I mean, I see your friend doesn't want to talk about it. It's not my business to talk. I'm not a gossip kind of guy, but just beware of that. It's not gonna end up well for you. I'll tell you, my friend. It didn't end very well for me. And he kind of like moves his head, and then you see that there is a gash that you hadn't seen, like someone had decapitated him at some point. Yeah, bad business deal to bad things. Anyway, farewell, guy.
Yeah, thanks for the business.
All right, my pleasure. Good day. And he just flicks the fingers, and out of the sudden, before you leave, you are actually out of the shop. Like, you find yourselves outside the shop, but you didn't leave, you didn't move. You just, like, somehow teleported you all out of the shop.
Oh, I don't like it when people do that.
Neither do I. And speaking of not liking, excuse me, dark magic? I thought that was your weapon from the Temple of Bahamut. Last time I checked, that was not a bad thing. Oh, there, Stack.
Listen,
Maz,
I don't.
care to share?
I'm just reminding you what the card said. The Tempter card.
Grey.
Perhaps that means less to us than it does to you, but okay.
Oh, right, yeah. Reminder, someone's been corrupted. That's what the card means.
Grey. Stone grinding of the neck turning.
Listen, you've been making your choices, and I'll make mine. That's all we need to know, right?
Is this going to affect us? As a group?
Has it?
I'm asking the question, will it?
No. I've been doing this for a while now, and none of you have even noticed.
I don't do magic!
I don't either. I've never casted a spell.
Maz is intently watching, very happy with what is occurring.
You're being evasive, Grey. I don't like it. Particularly after your
Fine.
comments towards me about evil is evil. Apparently we have no choice in that.
Can I roll something while looking at the whip to see if I could get a feeling
Sure.
off of it?
Sure. What would
Uh,
you... Mhm.
I don't know what would that be, Arcana or something?
Yeah, sure. It could be Arcana, yeah.
You know, I really wanted to wait to tell you guys this. Especially after what happened to Bryn.
With a 13, I will say it's quite an unusual sense you get from it. You've seen this one. Actually, were you there when the whip did the poison thingy? Did you watch
No,
it or
I don't-
no?
I don't think I could see that.
You get necromancy out of it. That is quite unusual. Well, it's not unusual because you haven't seen it, but it's kind of like points out at a bit of necromancy on it, definitely.
You know what? Pat's out of the bag. I'll be honest with you guys. You guys remember that statue we were supposed to find?
Yes, with the one with we,
The ruby statue?
the one that we,
The shadow fell.
Your tattoo, Grey, hurts so much for a second. Make a Constitution saving throw as you are about to debulk information that you were not meant to, and you feel this pain in your arm, like so painful.
That's
Oh,
very
dear.
painful.
And as you do that, you don't take any physical damage, but you just stop talking.
The pain
And as
is
you try and you go on, Mo?
the pain is so severe that even as you open your mouth, your hand it hurts in pain as if it's been someone had ripped it off. The pain is actually growing towards your whole arm now, and as you try to even say more and more, it's just stopping you. You just see, you all notice him freeze for a moment and clutching his hand, and he just can't not
Gr-
not saying anything anymore.
Gray? Gray, what's wrong?
You alright?
Wait, what's wrong with your hand? I reach out to his hand and I grasp his hand and sort of turn it over to see what's causing him pain.
Yeah, you see this unusual star, kind of like a scar, and it's got like a five-pointed star, and one of the points of it is kind of like green and black, like a black and green. The other one seems like a normal drawing, but one of them is filling, and it looks like, imagine like a star, like a ninja star, like a
Shuriken.
shinobi, shuriken, and kind of like with the ones with like look like from a fanfare, that kind of style. So it's got like all this, and one of them is right green and
Can
black.
I roll to identify this?
You could make a history check to see if it
Or religion.
resembles something, or
Then-
religion. Yeah.
So
So
something,
I'm good at religion then.
something like that though, or Cisco,
Sorry.
something like that. Cisco, I posted in Discord.
Oh, okay.
I remember
yeah.
rolling. I remember rolling poorly a while back about what's Tiamat and Bahamut, so that makes sense.
I will say that something like that. But imagine like instead of being like straight, it's more like curved at the ends. You know, like in that kind of like a bended knife, that kind of style. Yeah. With a 14, you recognize it must be the symbol of Tiamat.
Gray, what is this?
Yeah,
Does anyone recognize this?
Oh, yeah, now.
Don't get involved, Mas. It's not
Mas.
good for you, huh?
Hold on, Maz. What? What do you mean, fucking hell? What?
I'm just gonna look Maz in the eyes, like just shut up.
Not my place to say.
Oh.
I don't want to get involved with that.
Oh, no. I am putting my foot down here. This, Bruce has never done this sort of thing before. He says, what the devil is this?
I can't say, Bruce. If I do, I don't know what will happen.
Can't or
Please.
won't say, Gray.
He can't. I won't.
Why the hell not? This affects us all, potentially.
I'm not fucking with that shit. I don't
Okay,
know you people.
Calm down, Maz. I'm just gonna start covering up with a binding with a bandage.
Gray, I'm doing my very best to be calm, and as he sort of like, he steps a little bit closer and closer, just is that gradual bit more bruise appearing in his features, because I am deeply concerned about the safety of us all.
You don't think
Before
I'm not
stepping back,
concerned?
sorry, I interrupted you. I never quite caught you there, Lucky.
I'm just muttering. You think I'm not concerned?
I don't know.
Listen, I can't talk about it. I can't say anything. She can hear us.
Is that Maz? Who's that directed at?
That's just in general. That's just Luke being Luke.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Don't-
Sorry for that. Aki, do you know what this is at all?
I don't know this the symbol, but I could take a wild guess.
Let's not take any more guesses. Let's just finish our window shopping and go to Vermilion.
We need to go to the temple first. Provided
Yes.
you're still willing to do that.
Yes,
You're able.
I'm not a fucking vampire. I could still walk into holy ground. I'm fine.
You're not fine.
None of us really are. Maz could tell you that much.
Don't deflect.
Damn it. All right, Dad.
That was amazing.
And as you start making your way towards the temple, you see this small, humble building with a holy symbol, like some kind of unusual rounded symbol with 7 stars and a pair of eyes on it. And as you making your way towards there, following the road with the market bustling around you and this beautiful town full of merchants and commerce, that's where we'll leave it for tonight.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Ah!
That was so thanks, guys. That is.
We're going
For
away another
you.
week.
Yeah, man. For you watching at home, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed that as much as we do. Thanks for sharing our passion for D&D together as we go through these mysteries and adventures. Thanks to Darren Curtis for his awesome music, and also to James RPG Art, James Webster, for some of the intermission scene displays. And give us a follow. Please help us to support our channel, and we will see you here next Sunday or Tuesday for more adventure. Mo?
Yeah, and welcome, Maz, to the group.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like I'm gonna miss Bryn's
I
nice.
feel very welcome.
Yeah, we love your new character.
It feels like we've been
Amazing.
friends for ages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing.
farewell. See you guys next week.
Yeah, see you
everyone.
next week. Have a
Bye-bye.
great week.
Bye.
Yeah, bye bye.